Hello, people. I'm starting a couple minutes early here because um, I got the Prince of Park Avenue here. Tony has come in and explain something. Last night, I kind of decided I wasn't going to do this interview, but then I got a big pushback on people because they knew that we were planning on doing an interview. So I'm going to bring Tony on. I'm going to interview him just like I interview anybody else, and I'm not going to take sides. And Tony's going to explain to us why he feels the way he feels. And it's very important that the views of the person visiting isn't necessarily my views. So we're going to start this now, and I'm sure we're going to get some people in here. But as you guys know, Tony's point blank, straight, direct guy, and he doesn't pull no punches. And one thing that we did find out last night from some guys from Brooklyn that they believe that Tony's 100% legit. And people do not want to hear that. But Tony dropped a lot of names last night that nobody would have known unless they've been with those people. Okay, so I'm going to bring Tony out. Tony, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I was really looking forward to this. And then last night, after talking to FBS, I was not going to have you on. But this ain't going to be a pile on. I'm going to interview you. Like
After talking to FBS, you wasn't going to have me on?
We were just going to decide not to fight, But what I did is a lot of people came and said, Lee, you got to have Tony on. So, the reality is I have people that I made a commitment to. So I'm bringing you on. And I'm going to interview like I interview anybody in your position. And I want to ask you, the most amazing thing I find about you is that you came out of the blue. Just one day you showed up in your car and you started doing.
Wrong.
Okay, correct me.
I showed up at a bus stop and a Dunkin' Donuts doing my videos before I got.
That's right. Yeah.
I had a whole page up before I got my 1,000 subs, and I took them all down when I got to Florida, and I restarted it in Florida. And you helped me get the other subs while I was getting my car fixed for 5 days when you thought I was on the way to Pennsylvania to whack fucking fat face. You know what I mean? I got a method to my madness. You know what I mean? Like, I say some crazy shit on these fucking things, but then I got to say, out of sight, out of mind, silence is golden. Make this asshole sweat it out. And then you read my mind by coming out on the video saying, you know what? He ain't saying nothing and nobody knows where he is. FBS, you might be fucking in a lot of shit. So, you added to you snowball affected what I wanted you to do. I wanted this guy to have food for thought in his fucking head before he opens his fat fucking mouth. And, it worked, But when I came back out, explaining, I had to put $4,000 into the car. Front end, it was in the garage for a week. You know what I mean? I showed them picking up the car at the garage. I got in the car. I drove all the way to fucking New York. I got 2 flats. I went to a different garage. 2 of my subs paid for those tires. And he goes and him and Post Smoke Don come on saying it's the same garage, different fucking angle. I'm using my car to scam people. See, ever since I came on this thing, okay, he could claim somebody used his marquee and faked his fucking name. It was him. He knows how to fucking manipulate people. Okay, so he came onto my thing saying that I'm not real. I'm fraud. Can't find nothing on me. He's still singing the same song now because I didn't leave a paper trail because I didn't have a 302. I wasn't a rat. You know what I mean? I fucking did my time. I came out. I went alone. I went in alone, I came out alone, and I stayed alone.
How much time did you do, Tony?
Total?
Yes.
4 years.
4 years? And what state were you in prison? Just wondering, if I may ask.
I was in a lot of different states.
Okay, and federal prison, basically?
Tennessee. I was in Maine. I was in New York. I was in Florida. I was everywhere.
Right. So you always had issues. You had issues with the feds, basically.
Well, they had issues with me. I didn't have issues with them,
Right. And you got out what year?
2001, right before 9/11.
And when did you think about going back to the streets at that time, or did you
No,
say that
no,
was it?
no. When I got out, I flew back to New York. I told everybody that I knew, I'm done. Don't call me no more. I'm finished with you guys. Nobody was there for me with a lawyer. Nobody was there for me at all because I was looking at the 1020 in Florida for the pistol. And everybody said, oh, he's done, he's done, he's done. 10, 20, he's going to get 20 years, he's going to get 10 years. So people started walking away from me because I'm a small guy and they didn't think I could stand up in prison and all this bullshit. And they left me out to, out to dry. So I basically escaped twice, got brought back by the marshals twice. And the second time around, I told the judge, let's just get this fucking over with. So it got dropped down to state. The judge said, okay, we'll give you a year and a day or whatever, 2 years left. I said, I'll take it. Thank you. Because I'm not doing no paper. I'm not fucking doing any of that shit. And back then, it was 5 days game time, 10 days good time. So you did 15 days for the month. You didn't do a whole 30 fucking days. You know what I mean? So
Right.
the time is half the time. You know what I'm saying? And these assholes don't understand that. You know what I mean? So because now that's not an effect no more down in Florida. You got to do at least fucking 85% of your time.
Right. And when you came back, and did you just have trouble getting on your feet and finding jobs? And I mean,
yeah. When I came back, let me tell you what happened. All right. I spoke about my bar that I took over when I was a kid. When when I had that bar in 1984, I was only 18 years old. I would have been graduating college at the time, but I was already in the street since I was fucking 8th grade. So, the whole high school 4 years, I was already on my own, working, maneuvering, doing stuff. And I ended up in that bar in 1984 because, like I said, it was a guy there that, he needed a kilo of coke, and my friend Tommy Palmisi, who I called my cousin because he was like my older brother. He was like in his 20s. He was like 24 years old, and I was 18. He got mixed up with a guy named Jimmy Lynn, who was a big drug dealer in Lindenhurst, and his brother Jerry was getting married, and his mother and father were coming up for the wedding in Florida. Tommy had plans on returning to Florida with his mom and dad. He didn't want to be in the street no more. And I guess he owed Jimmy Lynn money. So Jimmy Lynn faked a drug deal at Spies, a club on 110 in Melville. And we were supposed to go on this deal, together, me and Tommy. I couldn't make it. I didn't make it. I was late. When I got there, they already were gone. So Tommy got shot in the chest, and then they dismembered his head. They took his head. They put his head in a bowling bag. They went out partying. They stuffed his body in a fucking burlap bag. They dumped it in the fucking weeds over by Captree. And duck hunters found his body without a head. I happened to be living in the bar basement, at the time, and I was working at Bagel Boss at nighttime. So I'd sleep in the bar basement in the daytime. So when I got back from work one morning, it was front page news, on the news day. I was sitting at the bar reading the paper, and I was crying. It was he was like my brother. And the old man that took me in at the bar was like, oh, you got those kind of connections? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, I need this, I need that. No, so long story short, I ended up hooking him up with a cake. But I did it in a way where, I made a few dollars. My friend made a few dollars, and he had enough room to make some money. We did the exchange. I went to work at Bagel Boss that night, and whatever happened at the bar happened, but the coke wasn't in the bar. And the guy he was dealing with were cops. So the guy that he was dealing with, he had him on a conspiracy charge to whack Nikki Black, who was the guy that I was under without knowing it at the time. And, you know, they got him for the coke and they got him for the conspiracy charge, putting a hit on Nikki Black. So they took this guy away. The place got raided. Everybody was still in the bar from the night before when I came back from the bagel store. And nobody had a voice left. Everybody was talking. What happened? What happened? What happened? Front page news. Coke, crooked rail coke bust. But the coke wasn't in the bar, so they couldn't take the liquor license. They couldn't shut the bar. Now, the bar was still under the original owner's name. The deal was made to use the owner's license and pay them off while he tried to get a license. So when he went away, he sent a letter down saying the bar belonged to me. Now, I was too young to have a bar. I wasn't even supposed to be in a bar. So my bartender, Rosie, me and her were really the ones he left the bar to. Her husband became my partner. He became the manager. I became his nephew. We ran this fucking circus for like 17 years. Okay? So now I come home from prison in 2001. My partner picks me up in the airport, breaks the bad news. The accountant died a year ago. We haven't paid the sales tax. They're gonna shut us down any day. We got to make a move. I said, well, that's fucking great. You know what I mean? That's great news to come home to. So he drove me back to the bar and we talked. And you know, he gave me a $20,000 gift for coming home. You know, even though I didn't go away for him or his family or his crew. And I went out and I found a pizzeria for like $55,000. I gave the guy 10 down and I worked out a deal with him. And I tried to get this pizzeria to fall back on because I was going to lose the bar. In the intro of that, Peter Pasta got involved and this guy got involved and that guy got involved. And I'm sitting there fucking trying to make a business happen. And I got all these fucking guys with pompadour hairdos from this family and that family and the other family coming through my door telling me who I'm with. And I'm looking at them all going, I ain't with none of you motherfuckers. How's that? You know what I mean? And they're like, what do you mean? You can't talk like that. So I can talk how the fuck I want. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm with Tony Pep. Tony Pep might be away right now, but I'm still with Tony Pep. Well, Tony Pep's done. Well, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, there was a controversy there between me and some fucking wise guys from other families who thought they were going to throw me under their wing and become my partner in a pizzeria. I was like, ain't having it. I threw the keys at my partner, said, have a fucking nice day. I got my car and I drove away. Okay, so now look at this fucking jerk off with a fucking Joey Messino picture. You know, I can't stand this shit on here. So anyway, I take off. I fucking disappear. I went around the country for like 2 years. I have a fucking building on Sunrise Highway with my partner and Nikki Black. We all had a building. You know, it was called Sons of Italy. You can look it up. Ma Brand, Sons of Italy on Long Island. They took the fucking building from us because my partner and the other guys, they decided to rent the hall upstairs to a bunch of fucking guys that wanted to run Texas Hold'em games. They had a legal charity, as far as I know, to use that fucking room to raise money, fundraisers. It went on for a couple of years. The FBI, John Francis Jr., wore the wire on his father. All this shit happened. I got the transcripts this fucking thick. I lost my fucking $500,000 bill in 2009.
And did you deal with the Francis, John Francis, and
did I deal with John Francis? Never. His father, okay, yes, but not Junior. Junior never met me. I never met Junior. I knew Michael from 1977, 1978. I knew fucking Sonny. I found out I knew Sonny since I'm a little kid sitting on his lap in a Cadillac diner when he fed me bacon with my grandfather. All right?
What was your opinion of Sonny?
What?
What was your opinion of Sonny? I mean, was he that tough guy to...
Sonny? No nonsense. Man of few words. He could talk to me with his eyes. That guy could just fucking give me a look and I knew what to do. You know what I mean? Like, there was no fucking talking with Sonny. Would just give me a look. Like, I would know if he was mad. I would know if he was happy. I would know what each look meant. Like, you know, I could just fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to, he never had to speak to me. You know what I mean? The guy could talk to me with his fucking eyes. You know what I mean? That guy was, he was God in my eyes, put it that way.
This guy says
You know
Tony
what I mean?
is the real deal. He did me a few favors in the past.
Who?
This guy that comes in as Joe Messina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he says that you, and he's been saying this. He said that he knows you and you have done stuff for him. So a lot of times.
That's nice of him to say that. I wish I knew who the fuck he really was then. You know what I mean? Like,
unfortunately, a lot of these guys don't want you to know who they are.
Exactly.
I speak to quite a few of the old timers that are in Brooklyn and stuff, and they tell me, don't put my name out there and stuff. They just don't want their name out there. They don't want to be involved.
Listen, I don't talk about nobody that, you know, that's active. I don't talk about nobody that, you know, I know that's still alive. I made the mistake of agreeing that I grew up with somebody's kids on Long Island. I'm not even going to say his name again, but they dropped his fucking name. I'm pissed off at fucking Tom, and I'm pissed off at Vinny. All right. I went on that show. They sandbagged me, okay, with this fucking fat pimple head Iranian. All right. They sandbagged me with him. I jumped off. You jumped on. When you jumped on, I wanted to come back on. They made me fucking wait. When I came back on, he jumped off. He live streamed them, stole half their audience, right? You and me were gonna do fun, and then Damien had to come on. They got all these clowns coming on. You know what I mean? We couldn't get anything. You know, for me, I didn't get nothing settled last night because I went on there to ask Tom, "What the fuck do you see in this fake fuck? He's got no connections to nobody. He's not from any fucking neighborhood. He never did a fucking thing in his fucking life. The only thing he did was open a fucking woes me, I'm an ex-junkie fucking channel. Okay. He was talking about recovery. Angel Gotti must have had some issues with some people in her family who had fucking problems. So she went on there to listen. He found out it was Angel Gotti, ran out and got a Gotti poster and became a fucking Gotti cheerleader and went after Johnny A. Light. That's how I see it. And that's how it played out, and he became everybody's simp for Angel Gotti and 1 degree away from Gotti's, and he got all these fucking subs. All right, it's funny how fucking the internet works. You know what I mean? I came out with I'm friends with Sammy the Bull Gravano, and I got 2,000 hits in one fucking day on that one video. So you know what I mean? Like I was like, wow. And I never had any interview with Sammy. I never had any proof with Sammy. I just knew that me and Sammy were going to do a Zoom call someday. Okay. I talked to Sammy every fucking day at that time before he started getting really big with these fucking shows.
How exactly did you meet Sammy, and how did you know Sammy?
I used to have a vending machine route when I was in the Colombo family with Frankie Spallone. I used to fucking go around Brooklyn collecting the monies out of the machines. And I had 2 games. There were Joker Pokers and a cigarette machine in Tally's. Tally's was Sammy and Mikey Batts' place. Right? I dealt with Huck. I dealt with Mikey Batts. I dealt with Sammy. I dealt with guys in the 19th hole, the wrong number. You know, I can name every fucking mob spot in the fucking city. You know what I mean? Like Stone Cold Killers. I used to go to the Gemini Lounge. I went to Gefkins. You know what I mean? Like the Chestnut, Vic Muso's joint. You know what I'm saying? Like,
could you ever meet?
FBS has got no fucking business being even entertained by this guy. Tom's an MBA. He says he's smart. How smart are you when you're entertaining a fucking con man? The guy's got fucking pig vomit for a wife. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And he's gonna fucking sit there. He's gonna sit there and fucking like, oh. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's got nothing. You know, he lucked out by having Angel on the show, And then he lucked out by having fucking Jimmy Colangelo open his ass cheeks to anybody for a fucking view. You know what I'm saying? The guy is a fucking freehold. And he's got no credibility whatsoever. He's testing my credibility last night, telling me, "Oh, you can't prove it. Who the fuck are you? I gotta prove anything."
Yeah,
him and that Jeff.
Can I
him
say
and that
something?
Jeff Nerdu. Huh?
Can I say something? I like to say something, Tony.
What?
See, you're coming out with facts and names, but don't you think it's more important for you to be like Sammy? You know Sammy. Tell us, how does Sammy treat you?
Like
Forget
a son.
about the FBS thing. Like a son.
Like a
I mean,
son.
was he a nice guy to you? And did you guys
He treated me like a son. He treated me like a son.
Did you ever do shit with Sammy? Like go out and for lunch or?
I I used to go to his club. I used to go to his bar. You know what I mean? I've had some business deals on the table with him back in 89, 90 before he got picked up. You know what I mean? Like I had some things on the table with him. I was going through. I had to go through Tony Pep, of course, but Sammy was the get it done guy. You know what I mean? If you wanted something done in the family, you go to your skip, and your skip would reach out to John, and John would send it over to Sammy. Sammy got it done because Sammy was the fucking real boss in my eyes. You know what I mean? They could say John was the boss. He was the boss of the newspapers. You know what I'm saying? Like Sammy was the fucking guy. You know what I mean? Like he was the guy that got shit done. You know what I mean? Like John couldn't get me the fucking slot in the market for my fucking Italian sausage. John couldn't get me all the wall bounds in fucking Long Island.
And Sammy could.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like, people are fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like, they just fucking read the papers. And like FBS, he reads the papers. He reads the fucking Wikipedias. He retells Jerry Capisci stories. You know what I mean? He has nothing to bring to any table. People are giving him money for news they can read themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I tell stories that nobody fucking ever wrote about. You know what I mean? The story I told last night about Handsome Jack, the room, Dominic getting kicked in the fucking chest and then smacked in the face. Jackie telling fucking Louis D, you're getting soft. You should have did that a long time ago. Him walking downstairs and getting clipped by a bunch of Puerto Ricans in a drive-by. You know what I mean? Nobody fucking knows that. You know what I mean? I had Guzman walking past me in the hospital. I had my jacket on my fucking head to get out of there.
Hey, for people that
these guys want these millennial cocksuckers that feel like they deserve to be on the internet making money with fucking posters of Biggie Smalls behind them and John Gotti behind them. Let me tell you something. I don't got to explain to these mutts. Oh, because they can't find my jailhouse records. Oh, because they can't. Maybe I haven't gotten in a fucking ounce of trouble since I got home. Maybe I've been sitting in Manhattan trying to be a legit guy. Maybe I've been trying to fucking just make something happen on my own without fucking going backwards in life. You know what I mean? I do answer to people. I do have to check in once in a while. I am a fucking liability to some people. All right? Like I said the other day, I'm out here risking my fucking life like Joe Colombo, exposing myself to the fucking fact just to shut these motherfuckers up because they don't belong talking about no mobsters or any people that I fucking know, all right, in my life. Who the fuck it is? Who gives them the right to make money on that?
This guy Lead Pipe says, I was locked up in county jail with FBS and used to eat his breakfast in front of him daily.
Lead Pipe, he says a lot of fucking stupid things.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy comes on and tells me I need a collector. Why don't you come work for me? This guy, look at the pictures. Al Capone, bro. These people ain't real. This ain't reality, bro. This ain't reality. I can't understand. Yeah. NBA has an NBA, and he doesn't understand where I'm coming from. I said, how do you entertain a fucking phony? How do you people go on this guy's fucking thing? Watch him. He's actually looking at himself in a mirror, talking to himself, smiling and laughing at his own jokes. That's how psycho that is. This guy's got a mirror across from him, behind his laptop, while he's sitting there with that big fucking cock mic in his mouth. He's fucking laughing at his own jokes, being his best own fan, convincing people and spinning things. Everything that comes out of my mouth or your mouth, he'll fucking go now and he'll fucking spin it. He said he did this and he said he did that. Like, he tried to take my story of when I went looking for Sammy and they picked me up with a machine gun, all right, while I was on the lam, okay, in Salt Lake City. He's trying to say last night it was a machine gun, not a pistol. You know what I mean? Like, he tries to spin every fucking thing. You know what I mean? And I told everybody twice the story. You know what I mean? Like, how many times do I got to tell story? Oh, that Sammy the Bull doesn't know him. He just felt bad for him because he had a fucking dog and he was homeless. He saw him on Facebook. Really? Sammy the Bull didn't call him, didn't have a conversation about number 3 in the family and Joe Franco, who died also in the family, with a guy that's homeless that he didn't know, that he felt sorry for. Really? You know what I mean?
This guy asked the question, Tony, I've supported you and shred your page since you've had under 100. I've been on your 100 subs. If you went to the Gemini, it would have had to been in 1982 and before. Can you explain, please?
1982 and before.
Yeah, for the Gemini. That's what he's trying to say.
Right. 1982 and before. The Gemini Lounge was there. Roy DeMeo was there. And I was hanging out with a guy named Gary Moore, who was a car thief. And he was friends with Patty Testa, Joey Testa, Anthony Santa. And I was a tag-along little guy because Gary, Frankie, and Silvio all come from the same neighborhood, the same circles. And I used to sleep over Gary's house because I was in the street. And I was working in Les Jardins from 1977 all the way to fucking 1988.
Right.
So,
and that was his thing. All the car thieves hung around the DeMeo, basically. Would you say that? Yeah, because that was his thing.
The Gemini Lounge was like headquarters for all the car thieves.
Right.
If you stole a car, you dropped it off somewhere, you went there, you got your envelope, and you went on your way.
And
you went in the back door, maybe you didn't come back out. But if you went in the front door, you know what I mean, like, you're all right.
Yeah.
But I used to tag along with a lot of different guys. You know what I mean? Like, not knowing who the fuck anybody was when I was there at the time, of course. You know, you find out later on down the road, like, holy shit, you know, like, this fucking this story's about those guys. Like, wow. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I always said they cherry picked me out of West Babylon. I'm not a Brooklyn guy. I'm not a fucking guy that grew up in the neighborhood wanting to hang out at candy stores watching wise guys play pocket pool. You know what I mean? Like, these guys all got the same fucking beginning of their stories. I wasn't impressed with none of these fucking guys. The thing that made me go with these guys is that they were all Italians. And I would do anything for a fellow Italian because that's the way I was raised to fucking think. We're all paisans. You need help, something. You need something. Anybody needs. And that's what made me fucking who I was. You know what I mean? I knew every Italian kid from West Babylon, North Babylon, Lindenhurst, West Islip. We all hung out. Deer Park, Dix Hills. We would all hang out. I would go anywhere and never be alone.
And you're 100% Italian?
Sicilian.
100%, right?
100%.
Well, that says a lot, people. Not a lot of people come on here and pretend they are, but if you're 100%, you're 100%.
Listen, they're trying to say that my last name's not my last name. They're trying to say my last name's not my last name because my last name is a fucking name that is not common, okay? And not everybody can have this last name, but I don't know. Where's the camera?
Right there. Hey, you don't want to don't dox yourself.
I'm not going to dox myself. But I'm not going to dox myself. But I don't know. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Caruana.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt you're 100. I believe you're 100%.
There's a better look. There's my credit card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And okay, so you hung out with all these Italian guys and everything. Did you want to someday become a made man? Was that your dream?
No.
So you just wanted to hang out?
That wasn't even a thought in my fucking head. It wasn't even a thought in my fucking head. Let me tell you something. I was with these guys thinking that they were legit business guys. Okay? Silvio took over LaVeccia Dance for Sonny. Silvio was like Sonny with a mustache. Okay? Silvio carried himself just like Sonny. I fucking cling to Silvio like Velcro. And I followed Silvio around for years. And I would fucking help him. See that scar right there on my wrist? I got that from Silvio. You know what I mean? So, you know, this guy was like my older brother. You know what I'm saying? Now, when LaVeccia Dance shut down after we got shut down after we put the fucking rap bands in, Dougie Fresh and fucking Rockmaster Scott and all that shit. Strafe. Anyway, one of the guys got stabbed. Silvio's brother-in-law got arrested. You know what I mean? It was time to say goodnight. You know what I mean? So we closed the doors. A few years later, Silvio came out and he got his liquor license and he reopened the Shalimar. As soon as he came out, first person he looked for was me. I went in, fucking helped him out. He bought Crystal Cadillac, Middleman Cadillac in Brooklyn. Now Crystal Cadillac. I went from Long Island to Brooklyn with him and Frankie. I was working at Crystal Cadillac, helping him make Crystal Cadillac. And that's how I ended up, living in Marine Park in Frankie's building while I was working at the Cadillac joint. I was promised a job as a salesman, and I thought I was going to be a salesman. Okay? But when all the job was done, I never got paid. They never paid me cash. They never gave me a check. I was living there, eating, sleeping, and working. You know what I mean? To go to the Cadillac dealership to be a car salesman. They all looked at me and laughed because I was so young. And they didn't, they're like, you ain't got you can't sell cars. So I walked all the way back from Kings Highway back to the building, and I was kicking the fucking walls. And Frankie goes, man, I go, this fucking bullshit. They promised me. And I'm a kid that's been promised a lot of shit from my stepfather, from this one, from that one. Never, ever get a fucking promise. So when somebody promises me something, I get very mad when somebody breaks their word with me. Okay? So I was over there, and Frankie felt bad. He goes, fuck him. You're with me now. And that's how I ended up in the vending machine business. And that's how I ended up going out with Frankie every day, working out. He started juicing me up, going to the gym. I got it to 189 pounds. I became a bouncer at the club. It was fucking like, it was like a whirlwind that went so fast. It went faster than I could comprehend it, put it that way.
Yeah.
I was a fucking 19-year-old kid in a 23-year-old and over club, all right, throwing out adults. I wasn't even supposed to be in the joint. I was fucking throwing guys beatings. You know
what year was it? What year was this?
1985, 1986, 1987.
That's kind of funny. I lived in that area at the same time. This DB wants to know, Lee, ask Tony when Joe Franco was killed, because Joe Franco had that cafe in the green, is still alive.
Joe Franco didn't get killed. He just died.
He just died recently?
He just died right around the same time as Frankie Locke.
Oh, okay. Well, if that answers your question, my man, I appreciate you asking those questions. If anybody has any questions they want to ask Tony, you know what? To me, there's no doubt you're the real deal. I just think that you have your personality. Sometimes you don't deliver it the way you should. If you sat back and just
I don't got time to deliver shit to people that don't deserve it.
Well, you got to
fast. Who the fuck is SBS that I got to fucking explain myself to him? Who the fuck is he? That's what I want to know. Who gave this guy the authority to fucking be the guy sitting there like a fucking, like you got to answer to him to get your fucking, to be left alone on the internet? Who the fuck is he? And that other fucking Robin Hood monk looking fucking jerk off with his hood and his fucking wig. You got no proof, man. You got proof. I got proof to you. You're a South Philly guy. I got to prove to you. I hope my friends in South Philly saw last night's show and they go and spin his fucking wig off his head. You know what I mean?
Well,
I tried to hint to him certain spots to give him an idea to shut the fuck up, and he still fucking went yap 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 yap. So how smart is he? You know, I tell him Gordon Snyder, Stevie Mitchell. Everybody knows my boy Stevie. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well,
So,
you know, Tony, if you just stuck to your story, I think that you'd go past all of us. I really do. I think you'd
listen,
be right.
I would have stuck to my story, but every time I turn around, I got some fucking FBS simp or fanboy opening their mouth and talking shit about me. You know what I mean? Oh, this guy, there's no proof. He's a fucking fraud. Who the fuck is he? There's nothing about him. You know what I mean?
Hey, this is
You know,
Tony. I'm sorry,
it's
Tony.
like,
Tony, hold 1 second. This is Tony's Cash App right here. If anybody wants to send anything to Tony, he could always use to help people. So it's
you
$
know,
A Batman 007. Thanks, Joe, for putting that up. I appreciate it.
thank you.
And James says, Tony, will you be sending FBS a Christmas card this year? Okay, I don't even know why I read that.
I mean, this is what I mean. Like, that guy's he's an Iranian. He doesn't fucking celebrate Christmas. He's a fucking Muslim. You know what I mean? You know, he sits there with his fucking Muslim smile in the mirror. He laughs at himself, makes fucking jokes. You know what I mean? He wanted to get at me by fucking talking to, like I said earlier, he takes old news and he gets paid by people to fucking tell them old news. Like, they were all cheering him on about talking about my ex from 2017 fucking fake news.
Hey, when you were home,
the whole world read that shit already in 2017. We already filmed Netflix in 2019. Okay? We've been waiting for Netflix to come out. This fucking pandemic fucked everything up. You know what I mean? And it's like, now it's gonna finally come out. Now, you know, you don't know how frustrating it is when you're trying to clear somebody's name and you got to wait 2 years for the fucking thing to come out. And then you got a fat asshole like this trying to fucking drag an innocent girl who's not my girlfriend anymore just because he knows I love her. He thinks that's going to piss me off. I got thicker skin than that, and so does my girl. And my girl don't go on YouTube. So she's not even going to see that to even be bothered by it. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I didn't agree with that. I don't think that we should be pulling people in that have nothing to do with
no.
this.
Then he says he's going to interview my brother. He got a little inside tip about my brother's whereabouts and what he does. Yeah, the only one that could have told him that was Nicky Petro. Okay, because Nicky Petro, from the time I went home, when my mother broke the silence with me and gave me the 10 grand, okay, that whole time I was at home, I got my phone fucking blowing up all day long. Nicky Petro, this guy, that guy, this one, that one, and they all want to Joe, the guy that stole my wrench 3 times a day calling me. Nicky Petro 5 times a day calling me. What are you going to say next? What are you going to do next? I had this fucking Mexican guy from fucking Texas call me 3 times a day. I had to block his number. You know what I mean? So I got a little close with JoJo and fucking Nicky Petro. And I let them into my house. I told them some in-house stuff.
Hey,
I got a cash out. Thank you, whoever sent that cash out. So what? When things kind of got rocky with my mother with dementia, and I didn't realize she had dementia because I was too busy on the phone with these fucking people on YouTube that is new to me. Okay, I didn't have the capacity to fucking realize my mom might have dementia because we were fighting over every little fucking thing because she'd say one thing and then say she didn't say it the next day. And I'm like, what, am I fucking crazy? You know what I mean? Like, is this a game you're playing with me? I had no idea my mother's sick. You know what I mean? So I come out, I leave, I tell everybody my mom might have fucking dementia. This jerk off is going to come on fucking YouTube a few days ago and say he's going to go interview my mother. He's going to go find my brother. Let me tell you something. Got to be the last fucking thing anybody does. You know what I mean? You approach a 76-year-old lady on dementia. All right? You try to fucking approach that fucking woman, cause her any fucking stress or fucking anything, I will fucking find you, and it'll be the last thing you ever did. You know what I mean? I already know. I already said, if anybody approaches my fucking family, Nicky Pietro, he's the first one going. Okay? Jojo is number 2 going. If he doesn't, Jojo thinks he's fucking insulated. I know who this guy Jojo knows. I'll go straight to his guy right here in Long Island and be like, yo, I need this guy now. And they're not going to say no, because you know what? I grew up with these guys. He didn't. Okay? He's working on his father's fucking reputation. His father's gone. His mother's gone. He don't got nobody. He's got his kid. All right? And he wants to fuck with me, and for no reason. He just dropped out of the fucking sky, dropped out of my fucking, stop talking to me, stop calling me, stop texting me. All of a sudden, thank you for the cash app, whoever that is. I can't read it. All of a sudden, like he's playing games with my fucking channel. He fucking blocks people that are close to me. I got people calling, oh, how come I'm blocked on your channel? I don't know. I'm not thinking that it's this kid.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
I trusted this kid. You know what I mean? Like, he won my fucking trust. And, all he could say to me is, I hate wise guys. I hate this. I hate that. They ruined my family. They ruined my life. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, he's out in Vegas performing on the strength of his father's reputation. On the strength of the guys that know his father. He's out there in Vegas getting jobs in fucking casinos and shit. You know what I mean? So it's a double standard. It's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? You wanted to know, did I ever want to be a made guy? I'm a self-made guy. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I am a self-made guy. I don't need a button to fucking sit at a table with anybody I know. Okay? And they'll tell you that. I'm a respected guy no matter where the fuck I go. And I don't have to answer to anybody anymore because I walk the fuck away. I don't do anything with anybody anymore. So nobody's gonna fucking involve me in any fucking top secret echelon fucking, conversations. It's hello, goodbye, a kiss on the cheek, a hug, respect, because everybody knows this guy went in alone, came out alone, did what I did in the past for them with no fucking charge. I never fucking took money from anybody. You know what I mean? That's why I'm fucking in the shoes I'm in. I was never in it for the money. I was in it for the fucking honor. I was in it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? It wasn't for making money. Like, these are all Hollywood people out here thinking that, oh, well, you're a mob guy and you're homeless in a car. You know how many mob guys would be homeless in their car right now if they didn't have a mommy to live with or a daddy to live with, or,
a lot of people don't realize a lot of these guys in the mob come from middle class families.
They don't realize shit. You know what I mean? They don't realize shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I had nothing when I met these people. I went in with nothing. I came out with nothing. Can you imagine if I was a greedy fucking money hungry type guy like Jimmy Calamandria, who fucking had the fish hooks in the fucking bank boxes, doing these fucking meaningless scores, calling himself a bank robber, smoking crack with the money, whacking his own friends because of fucking drugs, killing a lady, you know what I mean, to get more money for drugs, okay? These guys, you know what I mean, like, they think they were going to be gangsters. No. He said, I could have been a made guy. In what fucking world? In what fucking world are you going to be a made guy? You went to jail. I had a guy yesterday, bro. He came out of McKean. And he told me what exactly happened between him and fucking Johnny A-Light. He goes, Johnny A-Light's a liar, but he ain't lying when he says Gene got smacked by this fucking jerk-off. Because he went out of the cell during rec and begged Johnny A-Light, can you switch places with me? And Johnny A-Light said, yeah, I'll switch places with you. Go in there, smack him, tell him to go fuck himself. You're taking his pants. You're fucking rubbing his feet. You're tucking him in at night. You're cleaning that cell like a bitch. What else you doing for him in the dark? You know what I mean? And he snapped and went, ah! And Gene Gotti held him back with one arm. And he's like, what's wrong with this fucking kid? Because Gene Gotti didn't go to rec. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't mean no disrespect to Gene Gotti. He's a man's man in my eyes. All right.
Oh,
He's a
without a
man.
doubt.
He did his
Without a
time,
doubt.
hands down. He didn't rat. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to make Gene Gotti out to be a fag when I say this kid's a fag. You know what I mean?
What
But
would happen if Gene Gotti met Jimmy Calandra in the street?
if Jimmy Calandria got caught on the street, he'd be fucking dead. If he put his hands on Gene Gotti, trust me when I tell you. Let me tell you something. He left that cell block wrapped in a blanket like a little bitch crying. That's when he went. That's where the 302 came out. That's where he started ratting. Okay? He couldn't go to another cell block. He couldn't go to another prison. Word travels fast. He was a punk. Okay? All these stories like, oh, Joe Gambino, I want to marry you. This pasta's delicious. What man talks like that in prison to another man? This guy literally came out on YouTube saying he was fucking rubbing Mikey Scar's shoulders and neck from the back seat with the windows down and Donna Summers playing as they're cruising the neighborhood.
Okay.
What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, this is a tough guy. This guy's gonna be a made guy. You know what I mean? Come on.
So let me ask you, why does Sammy like him? I mean, he does have proof that he
paid.
You think he paid Sammy to go see him?
Yeah, no doubt. I know he did.
Now, have you ever talked?
I know. Sammy got his team to help Jimmy out. Jimmy signed some papers. Sammy's getting a piece. And the story. It might not be a big piece, but any piece is better than no piece. It's all dollars and cents. It's all nickels and dimes. You know what I mean? Sammy's old school. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll take a fucking, he'll get his little fucking quarter. You know what I mean? Out of every fucking body's fucking lunchbox. At the end of the day, he ain't getting a quarter out of my lunchbox, huh?
Those quarters out of Sammy's a smart man. I mean,
he's a very smart man. And he saw Jimmy's fucking past fucking interviews and documentaries and said, this guy will sell. Now, I ain't going to sell nothing because I can't talk. I can talk about past things. You know what I mean? People that are gone. But some of the people that are gone that I talk about, these people don't even know who the fuck they are because they were never in the paper either. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, how come, why is it the whole fucking time I'm out here, I fucking said shit about certain things. Peter Pasta, Johnny A. Barello. Why ain't these guys coming after me? How come these guys ain't saying a fucking peep to me if I'm such a fake?
Because they respect you more than these other guys. That's why.
Well, what I'm saying is, I didn't really want to fucking dog these guys out, but I was saying what I was saying because I wanted to make a point. I wanted to make a point that everybody with a fucking half a brain would say, how come Jeannie Barello ain't retaliating? He's got a big mouth. How come Johnny A-Light's not retaliating? How come Peter Pasta ain't retaliating? None of Peter Pasta's family's retaliating.
But let me ask you a question.
Everything that I put out there, everything that I put out in my videos, nobody's ever said anything that I've said is not true, except for FBS. FBS and his fucking minions.
Let me ask you a question. One thing you have to understand, Gene's on paper. Do you think that they would be talking this way to Gene if he was not on paper?
Listen, Gene's 80 years old. Let the fucking guy live his fucking life.
No, I'm talking about Gene. I'm talking about Gene Barello.
Gene Barello? He was just on the other day fucking screaming at somebody.
No, he's not allowed on the internet right now.
Well, he was on the other day. The video's like fucking 2 days old.
No, he doesn't have any new videos out.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, no, he has videos, but none of them are new. Because if he put anything out new, he'll go to jail. He'll go to prison.
Really?
Yeah, they got him by the balls.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, but what I'm trying to say is, I happen to know that Jimmy Calandra was talking shit about Gene, and Gene sent him a message. If you talk shit about me, I'm gonna come over and visit you. And Jimmy never talked about him again.
Right.
You know, that's
Jimmy.
reality.
Listen. Jimmy he's a good talker.
without a doubt. Very good entertainer.
He's right out of Central Casting.
Yeah.
All right. He's just like Anthony Ramonde. I mean, this guy, you know, what Jimmy doesn't realize, like yesterday, he's swinging it. After I threw him, I fucking dragged him under the bus with the news I got from the kid from McKean. Okay. After I threw that whole video out about the helmet, he goes and fucking makes a video of him, what he likes to do as a good father by swinging his child on a swing in a park in Brooklyn. And I looked at him and said, "You're fucked up." I wrote, "You're fucked up. You put your kids out in videos." Does he not realize the guys he went away with are coming out right now? The guys he put away are coming out right now. Does he not realize that? Does he not realize that he's a fucking jerk off? Or is he really fucking like working with his handlers in the FBI to fucking set people up to get fucking pinched for going at him? Do you think that Jimmy Calandria is going to be fucking riding around in his van anytime soon in the next 6 months in New York? Do you really? I don't see it. I do not see it. I see Jimmy Calandria disappearing, okay, and going into his little program like he was supposed to and doing what he's supposed to do. Because let me tell you something. This YouTube thing ain't going to make him no Sammy the Bull. He ain't no Sammy the Bull. He's got no stories. He's doing the same stories fucking Fat Boy Pimplehead is doing off the Wikipedia. If this kid was away when he was 23 years old, okay, and I don't know what the fucking years were, who gives a fuck? All I'm saying is, like, there's no fucking way anything he says can be validated because nobody knows any better. You know what I mean? And anything he's been telling you, Tommy, the best was he hung out with Tommy Karate. And then he decided that wasn't for him, and he left Tommy Karate. Do you think Tommy Karate's going to let him walk out of his life after he fucking found out that he's chopping people up, putting them in suitcases, and burying them in Staten Island?
No.
Come on. That guy that ratted Tommy Karate out had to rat Tommy Karate out just to get away from Tommy Karate. He had no way out. He was like, "I'm done with this. I don't want to do this no more, so I'm going to rat." Because if he would have tried to leave, Tommy would have killed him. So basically, you know, I mean, Jimmy's stories are a little fucking far-fetched, but YouTube has become storybook land to fucking simps that fucking don't know any better, who watch The Sopranos, who watch The fucking Godfather, who watches Goodfellas, who watches Casino, and they think that the life is all about money, drugs, guns, being a gangster. That's not a gangster.
Let me ask you a question. If Spiro tells Jimmy, "You got to go kill Paulie G," does Jimmy do it? If Spiro tells him,
Jimmy would have did it in 2 seconds.
Even though that's his friend,
he would have did it in 2 seconds. We all know in the life, your best friend's the one that's going to kill you.
Exactly, and that's one thing I always try to say.
And we all know. You put your hands on a fucking good fella, you're going to die. Yeah, I mean, you don't put your hands on a good fella. I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't you don't raise your hands to a good fella. You know what I mean?
And you probably knew people that did that and had the same thing happen to them. I mean, you just don't hit it. You don't hit the boss.
No.
I mean, it's that simple.
There was a guy one time. He raised his hands one time to a guy. And let's just say he was fucking beat so badly. He was, you know what I mean, like within a blink. I mean, the place was getting redecorated with this guy's fucking head, arms, legs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen when you're in a realm of real men. You know what I mean? There's no way you're going to get away with it. There's no way you're walking out of there. There's no way you're going to fuck. No, there's no way. So Paulie Galino to be able to push that guy like they reenact on a fucking infomercial and then walk away, how he got off that block is beyond me. Nobody must have been around to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I wasn't there. But where I come from, Paulie Galino would have been planted under that tree right next to where they were standing as soon as he fucking touched them. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would have never made it to his house. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, this fucking kid calls me a backstabber last night. Meanwhile, he waxes fucking boy Georgie fucking Adamo, and then goes and marries his sister and turns around to crack. You know what I mean? Like, real fucking stand-up guy. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, you know, he paints himself to be the fucking new guy. I go, oh, you know, there's no good ending in the mob. Oh, there's this and that. You know what I mean? Oh. You know what? Then talk about something else, my friend. Get off the mob subject, because you're telling stories that fucking don't go with your fucking narrative. If the mob is no good and all the people are no good in your life, let's say, okay, I'm out of prison. I made my mistake. I told my story in the past in a documentary. Now I'm all about Jesus Christ, raising my daughters, and we're going to talk about building a fucking, you know, we're going to create something, you know, good for the community. I want to give back to what I fucking took. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something you want to fucking do. You don't want, I don't come on this fucking YouTube to talk about the mob. I came on to talk about me, my life in the street. But I got the idea of spinning it a little bit, because Jerk Off A, which is A-Light, and Jerk Off B, which is fucking Calandria, all right? They both started their stories the same way. I grew up in this neighborhood, toughest neighborhood in Brooklyn. These guys with fucking money, this and that. You know what I mean? And I said to myself, these guys weren't even fucking, neither one of them were soldiers. Neither one of them were on paper. Neither one of them were fucking, I mean, A-Light's a fucking guy that's not even Italian. And Buckface over there, all he was a junkie, drug addict, stealing fucking bank boxes. So, you know what I mean? Like, just because you grew up around these people don't mean that they knew you. It don't mean that you were with them. It don't mean anything. But who would know any better today? Today is what I'm saying. Like, this guy went in the fucking court and pointed on Anthony Spiro and put him under the fucking jail, okay? Just because he couldn't do his fucking time in jail like a man. You know what I mean? That's it. Paulie Galino had to get whacked. If he wouldn't have been in jail at the time that went down, he would have been the trigger man to kill Paulie Galino, because he wanted that button. You know what I mean? Everybody wants that button. That button's like the fucking Rolex. You know, the button's like having a fucking an armband in prison when you become a trustee. You know, you can walk around freely. You can eat the deputy food. You can make phone calls. You know, you can pass the notes. You know what I'm saying? But I never did any prison time. You know what I mean?
Now, what do you think about Jimmy Calandra? He came out and had enough guts to say that John Gotti Jr. was a rat, and now
I think that was fucking great. I think that I see you. I can't answer you. I see. I mean, like the night. See how he snapped that night?
Yeah.
He came out of the dark. Fuck everybody. That's the same thing he did to Gene Gotti. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the way he bugs out is hilarious. And, you know, I think, honestly, if Jimmy Calandra didn't entertain this fat, bald Iranian pimplehead that's got no connections to anybody or anything in his fucking life or realm or even New York State, okay? Put it that way. He's got more allegiance to that fat fuck over there with no hair than he does with me, okay? You went to Sammy's house, paid for a sleepover, gave him the Mikey Scott special. You got yourself a fucking video. You know what I mean? Now, you find out I'm with Sammy. We're talking every day on fucking Messenger, face-to-face. I got Gerard's phone number in my phone. You know what I mean? Like, do you become my ally or you become FBS's ally? He went straight to FBS. Fuck me. You know why? Because I don't got Angel Gotti on my show. I didn't even have a show. I wasn't even able to go live yet. So here I am, like, I'm watching, okay, this fucking guy, he's a rat. I don't want to be associated with a rat, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. You know, he wants to change his life and he wants to be a better person. He talks about God. He's a great talker. This guy is like Michael Francis Jr. You You know what I mean? When it comes to talking and selling, he can sell a good story and he can fucking, sell his t-shirts and whatever the fuck he's doing. You know what I mean? He's not even trying to get cash apps or super chats because he doesn't want the abuse on the fucking chat. You know what I mean? So there's reasons why there's no chat on his lives. He don't even go live really. He makes videos and he throws them up, and then people make comments.
Did you know Michael?
Did I know Michael?
Yeah, Michael Franzese. You ever meet him?
Yeah, he won. He beat the shit out of me.
Oh, he did. He personally beat the shit out of you?
Knocked the shit out of me. Yeah. Me and my friends wrecked their cars behind LaVeccia. 1977, 78. They had the disco by me. Me and my friends are headbangers. We're like, fuck these disco faggots. We fucking slashed the tires, the roofs, broke the windows. We spray painted the car disco faggot. You know what I mean? The next day I walked by and forget I did it. So, oh, fuck. He came running out of that fucking club like a madman. Smacked the fuck out of me. You know what I mean? But like I said, that's how I met the mob. You know what I mean? Like,
so he wasn't a pussy. He could handle himself.
Mike, a pussy?
Yeah.
Come on. Everybody's got this guy the wrong fucking way. I'm telling you, he's a nice guy now. He's a man of God, and he's got the best charisma and best upbeat attitude of anybody I've ever known. But you know what I mean? Like Mike Franzese, a pussy? Please stop.
Yeah,
don't even go there.
You'll have people try to say that, but they don't realize.
They want to say that because he fucking supposedly snitched and his father went away and da 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 da.
Right. Well, that's some interesting shit. I mean,
Mike fucking came out. He came out with his first book back in the 80s. 1980 fucking. I remember his first book with the yellow cover with his pictures of him in California. You know what I mean? We were fucking building Shalimar still. Okay. And I looked at the book and how I left the mob or how I walked out of them. And I'm sitting there like, wow. I said, really? Wow. You know what I mean? But, that's balls, bro. That takes balls. He walked away from the fucking the marshals. He went out to California and said, fucking leave me the fuck alone. I'll see them coming. This guy, he's got fucking balls. He ain't the guy that, needs an army behind him, put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not a small guy. He's not a slouch. You know what I mean? And he definitely didn't achieve LaVeccia with his fucking niceness. You know what I mean? Yeah. That club was owned by a doctor. As a matter of fact, yesterday the kid I was with, he ain't a kid, but the guy with the white hair, Frankie, in my yesterday's video, we brought it up. His uncle Joe Molino built that club for the doctor. You know what I mean? So Michael came in and took that club from the doctor.
And nobody else said anything to Michael, right? So
nope.
That gives you an idea.
Nope.
Sammy took a few clubs like that himself, didn't he?
Well, in his own way, yeah.
So,
but man, Michael walked in. I'm your new partner. There ain't no fucking thing you're gonna do about it. Okay. I mean, don't think for a second that, like, back then, Long Island, telling you, bro, I seen fucking shit that I can't even fucking repeat. You know what I mean? Like this fucking crazy fucking, no. You looked at Michael the wrong way, you fucking end up fucking floating somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, nah, ain't happening. It wasn't happening. I'm telling you that right now. You couldn't get near Michael back in the day. And then, you couldn't get near him. You couldn't get near Sonny back in the day. No way. Those guys were, like father, like son. Trust me when I tell you. No, if you think for a minute, a guy like Sonny is going to send a fucking half a fag into the life, knowing he's, you know what I mean? Like his son, John Jr., the rat with the wire, he wasn't straightened out. He wasn't no made guy. He was a junkie. You know what I mean? He was John Franzese Jr. And, by the time he came into even being known, I mean, the old man was just coming out 95 years old. So, yeah, kid, you're going to drive me around. You know what I mean? The guy's not active no more. He's a fucking 95-year-old fucking guy. A very well-respected guy, but, the newspapers try to say he's an underboss. Underboss of what? Of what? Dementia? You know what I mean? Like,
do you know who Chris Paciello was? The guy that
Chris was Club Liquid.
Yeah. What do you think about him? Because he hung out with Jimmy Calandra and his friends.
Chris is the only one I know out of that whole crew.
And he's doing well for himself. I mean, I know that he just bought a house for $5 million.
He always does well for himself.
He's a pretty amazing story when you think about it.
No, he's an amazing kid. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I ran into him not too long ago in Manhattan at the Rose Bar, and he tried to pretend he didn't know me, and we ended up fucking making a joke out of it. They're younger than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, it was funny. And the funny thing was that one of his girlfriends from California come stay in the building on Park Avenue where I was at, right? Now, she was living with the owner of Crunch Gym, who's partners with Madonna in Crunch Gym. Okay? Chris was partners with Madonna in Liquid. See the triangle?
Oh, yeah.
So this girl was smoking fucking hot. I mean, fucking beautiful. You know what I mean? And she used to come out with these tight fucking outfits on, and the fucking moon crickets just to run up behind her. And I would just like step out and fucking like, yo, get the fuck away from her, And she would turn around and be like, thank you. I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna let that nobody do nothing to you like that. And then she turns around, she goes, you remind me of my ex-boyfriend. I said, who's that? She goes, he's a guy that Chris from from that movie, Kings of. I said, I'm Tony Pizza. She goes, get the fuck. She fucking, her hair went straight. She ran into the building. And then they fucking move, right? I go to fucking Rose Bar, Gramercy Park Hotel. A week later, I'm standing there. There's Chris standing there, but, all fucking bulky. I look over. I see the tattoo. I said, hey, where you from? He tells me Belgium. I said, you fucking clown. So, I said, I ran into your ex-girlfriend. I said, she told me some crazy shit. He goes, they're all psychos. You know what I mean? They're all psychos. He goes, he gets in the fucking car. As he's driving away, he's yelling, they're all psychos. But,
So,
I know a bunch of guys from Staten Island that knew Chris very well. You know what I mean?
what do you think about the story that Jimmy was telling when they were going over the bridge, and him and I think he said Paulie, they were thinking about killing Chris?
I never heard that story.
It's actually a pretty good story. Yeah, they were going over to meet Chris because of everything that was going down. Paulie G wanted to whack Chris. And then Jimmy said he talked Chris out of it. I mean, he talked Paulie G out of whacking him.
Could be. Maybe that's why Chris ended up in Miami.
Yeah. Well, Paulie was a badass. Nobody could take that away from him. But,
well, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't know. You know what I mean? It don't take a badass to pull a trigger.
And that's it, especially. Did you know Roy DeMeo? Did you ever meet Roy DeMeo?
I went to his house.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
And how did he come off when you met him? Like as a regular guy, or?
Well, the funny story about this was when they took me to his house in Massapequa. All right. Before we got there, Joey and Anthony said, make sure you say something nice about the chandelier when we go inside. And I'm in the back seat and I'm like, chandelier? And they're like, yeah, make sure you say something good about the chandelier. So I'm like, all right. So we get to the house, we walk inside. Roy greets us at the door, lets us in, and I look up and go, wow, what a chandelier. And Roy fucking smiled ear from fucking ear, put his arm around me, brought me to the kitchen, got me a soda, let me sit at the counter while he was with Anthony and Joey in another room. And when we time to leave, they called me. I went in the front. I got in the car with them, and they said, good job, good job. He loves that fucking chandelier. He never stops talking about that chandelier. That's why they put the chandelier on top of him when they whacked him.
So Anthony, it was Anthony and there was the Testas that whacked him, right?
Center and Testa.
Yeah, they whacked him. Okay. And what did you think of them? Did they just come off as good guys, or?
Yeah, they were fucking great. You know.
Now, what do you think?
I mean, if you look like somebody they killed, they kill you again. You know what I mean?
Do you think that Paul Castellano made a mistake by whacking him? Because then when he was having trouble with
Yeah,
Roddy,
that was if Paul Castellano, in my opinion, if Paul Castellano would have never whacked Roy DeMeo, he'd still be alive.
because he would have taken out Gotti.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people say that because
Gotti was definitely afraid of fucking Roy DeMeo, and there was been, Roy DeMeo had such a fucking crew. That was his biggest fucking stupidest fucking move, whacking Roy DeMeo.
And people don't realize Roy DeMeo had a crew like of 15 guys. It wasn't just a couple guys.
20 guys.
Yeah, it was a big crew.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't fucking, these guys were fucking stone cold maniacs. Some of them are still around, you know what I mean? What made it happen for Paul when he reached out to the twins, they were so hurt by Chris DeMeo, Roy's adopted son.
Yeah,
the Jewish kid, Chris Rosenberg.
Yeah, the one they killed.
When they had to kill Chris, it broke their heart. You know what I mean? It broke their heart. They never forgave Roy for that.
And
so
when Roy
came up, that's why they put the chandelier in the car with him, though.
And they figured if Roy was kill his stepson, he would kill anybody.
Well, one day you, one day me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of people. That's unfortunate. And so, okay, let's just moving on. So right now you're staying in your car and stuff. Are you looking to like get your own place and get
my looks?
I mean, what's your plans? I mean, do you have
plans?
I
don't have any plans, bro. I don't have any plans. How can I make plans when I don't have any? I don't have any friends. I got YouTube friends, my new YouTube friends that help me out. All right. I get a few dollars here, a few dollars there on Cash App. It makes me survive. It puts gas in my car, puts food in my belly, and it lets me do my laundry. You know what I mean? There's no plans. I mean, look at this fat pimple head, for example. That's the age group that's out there that I gotta get through to get a job. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine that with a broken Kodak. You know what I mean? So, you think I'm going to walk into a place and take water from one of these fucking punks? Never going to happen. You know what I mean? First of all, the first thing they do is they go right to your Facebook page. As soon as they go to my Facebook page and they see Donald Trump on there, it's a wrap. Cancel culture came after me fucking 10 times over in the last 8 years. All right, cancel culture's been knocking on my phone. I've been in Manhattan fucking pissing people off for fucking 16 years with my signs. I didn't sit there with nice signs. My sign said, fuck you, kill yourselves. You know what I mean? Like, yuppie scum sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I would make signs that would fucking be so unpolitically correct that, fuck the LGBT. I'd make signs that made people fucking, nuts. You know what I mean? Nuts. So, and I slept there. Nobody ever did a fucking thing to me. That's why I can't understand, like, these fucking people on this fucking YouTube with their threats. I'm like, come on already. I sat on a corner with fucking huge Trump sign. I took out fucking 7 Antifa people. I just got off that fucking paper this month. October, it ended. The 6 months COD is gone. How come they couldn't find that either? Huh? How come they couldn't find that either? I wonder why.
Well, what makes it worse is why are they looking?
I mean, I'm just saying. What makes them think? What makes them think that I gotta fucking prove myself to these fucking pimple head and fucking Friar Tuck with the wig? You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck do I gotta prove myself to these guys that never did a fucking thing in their lives? And like I said before, in the beginning of the show, NBA, you're a smart man. You entertain this. Look at fucking Josie, the fucking washed up Spice Girl. You know what I mean? She's got the fucking balls to fucking, and I know she's got balls because She can't be a fucking real woman. You know what I mean? She's calling me saying, I want my $60 back. You want your $60 back? I gave you a fucking $60. You gave me $40, not 60. You know what I mean? Well, you know, and then, you know, I got this other fucking washed up Spice Girl from Ireland. You know, send me back the money I sent you because you're nasty. Why? Because I don't answer 100,000 texts a day from you while you're drinking binge. She binge drinks and just keeps on texting me. My phone blows up all fucking day long. And it's this fucking Octavia twat. You know what I mean?
What do you think of Al, Uncle Bad Touch?
Uncle Bad Touch. I don't think. I think he should fucking go back to fucking complaining about the flowers in Gramercy Park and stick to the city and what's going on in the city and leave the fucking mob dons alone. I mean, this guy's been out there trying to fucking get a channel off the ground for I don't know how many times. And he's flipped from one thing to the next thing. And he thinks he has the right. He's entitled to squeeze into the mob genre and put a little gay touch there. You know what I mean? And it's just not going to work. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. This guy's like, you know.
He used to go after FBS, you know. He used to call FBS names for going after John A. Light. Me and FBS.
Well, now he, you know, him and FBS are like Uncle Bad Touch with nephew, let me touch you. You know what I mean? So
this is the type of guy that was picked on in school. No one's ever been his friend. And all of a sudden he has a few friends.
And he's a fucking jerk off. I mean, he tries that left wing fucking, you know, the same thing. FBS, they all have this left wing cancel culture. You know, this guy abuses women. He's a racist. He's this. He's that. You can't tell a joke. Like he's trying to say last night, he could tell jokes, and he's got, you know, he don't tell jokes. He's afraid to tell jokes. He's afraid to say he's a Democrat. He's a fucking stone cold Democrat. What's wrong with saying you're a Democrat if you're a Democrat? I don't hate Democrats. You know what I mean? I'm a Republican. They make fun of me because I'm poor. How could you be a Republican? You're poor. How retarded is that? How retarded is that? What am I going to change my fucking venue because I lost all my money? You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make no fucking sense. I'm going to change my values because I lost my money. You know what I mean? These people, this country is fucking ran by retards, and they got retards supporting them. You know what I mean?
Well, at least you and I aren't afraid to say what we are, and that's, you know, that's the difference in America right now. In America, a lot of people are afraid to say what they are. Hey, there's 260 people watching right now. So
hey, God bless us.
So
hello, everybody.
So
Strong Island, Strong Island, right here.
You know why they're watching you? Because you are entertaining, and I'm telling you, if you could just get to your stories like the shit you told today, you'll be number one. That's just my opinion. It's
number one for what?
You'll be able to really help yourself financially.
How?
You know?
How?
Because you put together good shows. People pay for good entertainment. They do.
Well, like I said though, I'm not into this mob talk shit. I want to talk about my experience in the street as a kid.
People just want to hear you. They don't give a shit about anything. They want to hear your story, Tony.
My thumbnails, I had Anthony Wein, I had Lindsay Lohan, I had Hillary Duff, I had Noah Syndergaard, and they're all like, oh, you don't know those people. Oh, those are photoshopped. Oh, yeah. You know, these fucking people on here with no fucking lives, fake names. You know what I mean? No picture. No, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not into this. I really isn't. I really don't want to fucking deal with it no more.
But when you go back, you're gonna find that you picked up more subs today, because I've seen a few people in here that already said I've subbed Tony's channel. So you know you're gonna see an increase. Right?
Is that asshole live streaming us?
I have. Well, right now probably not, because we're at 260. He's probably watching, but you know what? Don't you think we have to give him credit too, because of the fact how well he's doing?
How well is he doing?
I mean, he has 4,000 subs. I mean, people aren't going to go.
Man. He's a good con man. He's got 4,000 subs. Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. Why is he complaining about his views and his fucking super chats then? Why is he telling people? Why is he emailing my fucking subs, telling them not to help me because I'm a racist and I don't know what to do with the money?
That's
Why
wrong.
does he keep on? Why does he keep on talking about my mother's $10,000 for this car? Why does he keep on ranting about money all the time? Why? If he's doing so well, why is he so fucking stuck on me, money, this, that? You know, he keeps trying to paint the picture of a junkie. I'm not a junkie. He's a junkie. You know what I mean? Like, he's the one that came out of rehab. He's the one that took up a bed from an AIDS patient and fucking moved in with a fucking nurse from a fucking rehab. I'm not, I never came out of no rehab. Oh, wait.
What do you think?
Huh?
Hey, Tony, what do you think about people that say, we don't care about what you say, Tony, just don't say nothing about his wife? A lot of people say that.
Who's that? Pig Vomit?
Nah, don't. I don't want
That's the new name, Pig Vomit.
Yeah. But there are people that have a problem with that. So what do you got to say to them about that?
What do you want me to tell you? You got a problem with it? Fucking kill yourself. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't give a fuck. I got no respect for him or her. He put her in the chair next to him. He put her out there. She's drooling on herself. She's nodding on herself. She's fucking popping pills in her mouth while she don't make no fucking sense. They're both mind manipulating to people that are stupid. You know what I mean? And it's insulting to watch. So, I don't give two fucks what people think. You know what I mean? Like, the people that get offended by what I say can stay the fuck out of my life. Because they're the reason why I'm homeless. They're the reason why. Those are the type of people that are stopping me from getting a job, stopping me from having a place to live, because I don't think like them. I don't act like them. I don't want to be like them. You understand? There's been a fucking change in venue in this fucking country. If you ain't got a rainbow flag hanging over your fucking head, you ain't going nowhere.
Well, if you've seen the results in Virginia, a lot of people are rebelling against that. I mean,
yeah, well, about fucking time. Because no matter where you go, this LGBT shit is fucking out of control. Out of control. And all these kids are brainwashed and fucking, it's like, what's so, you can't worship God, but you can worship the fucking unicorn. The fuck out of here. And it's always the little females and the Me Too's and, they come home with their purple hair and their nose rings and the fucking, hey, come on, man. I'm done with it. Anybody who lives that fucking kind of fucking lifestyle can go fuck themselves. I don't care if they get offended 3 ways to Sunday. You know what I mean? I'm a man. I was raised as a man, and I grew up with real fucking women with chemistry that knew how to fucking be a woman, that knew how to be affectionate, that knew how to fucking make you feel like a man. Not today. You got to bring in 6 digits to be with me. Everybody's fucking 4'11", but they're fucking Instagram hoes or models, TikToking it. You know what I mean? I ain't got no time for that shit, bro.
Hey, you know what I mean? Kryptenko says he is nuts, but he's real about you. He says you're nuts, but real, Tony. I guess that's a compliment. That's a compliment. I guess so. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're proving one thing. You've done a really good interview here. And you talked a lot about yourself, a lot about your life, and you really haven't been bashing people. You've been kind of mellow today.
Oh, like I said, I would have been calm last night if I didn't get sandbagged by fucking Tom. Right? Tom, the NBA, not so smart guy, he continues to fucking entertain the Fat Bald Iranian. I got nothing to say about him no more. I'm not talking about Fat Bald Iranian. I'm talking about Tom, the NBA. I will never fucking respect him again. Vinny tried to tell, that's my friend. How are you friends with him, Vinny? Did he go up down the block? Did he come to your wedding? Was he your best fucking man? Vinny, how the fuck is this guy your friend?
Vinny's Vinny's on here right now. I like Vinny.
I love Vinny, but I'm saying, don't tell me he's your fucking friend. You know what I mean?
And Vinny's the one that said last night that you're real, because everybody you were naming, Vinny knew. So
I know everybody Vinny knows. When I saw Vinny for the first time on here, I knew exactly. I was breaking his balls, calling him fucking Vinny Nervous Breakdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
I know who Vinny is. And, you know, it's like, there's no lying in me. I don't got to lie. What the fuck do I got to lie about? I only lie to fucking moon crickets and cops. You know what I mean? Well,
Hey, Ramper Incorporated said, Lee, tell Tony I said hello. That's from Ramper
what's up,
Incorporated.
Joey Vitale Jr., how are you, buddy?
So you knew who he was.
Yeah, he's my wrench. He's my hitman. That's Joey Vitale from the Ramp, his son. His father and Sammy were very close.
Remy says, Uncle No Touch Coffee is a joke. Really, man? And that's the truth.
Ma, Remy. Vanish Ma.
Dirt Level Record says FBS is only entertaining by the way of my fellow degenerate new beginnings.
What's that supposed to be?
Tony does not need to prove anything. That's what Ramy said.
Absolutely, Ramy.
And
I mean, you know, it didn't have to come to this. You know what I mean? They could have just left me the fuck alone when I was telling my story. But because, you know, I was a threat to the fucking FBS's fucking super chats, whatever the fuck he thinks he's got going on over there.
And Ramy's from Jerusalem, and he's sending you the best. Just so you know.
Remy, I know Remy. Remy's he's from Jerusalem, but he's Israeli.
Marky Mark says, tell Tony I said, what up, buddy?
What up, Marky Mark?
And
see, my whole crew came in to see us tonight. I told everybody to come see us.
You know, I'm glad you did, man, because we had a nice show, man. And this is what people want. People want, you know, you talked a lot about yourself. They want to hear about you, dude. They don't want to hear about nobody else. Just tell them your shit.
Oh,
you know,
I was talking about me in the beginning. I was telling everybody how I left my house, 13 years old, after taking a boat for a joyride. My stepfather, the German, all the fake promises, all the fucking beatings. You know what I mean? Like they don't, some people liked it, and a lot of people broke my fucking balls. They twist what I say. They come back with fucking stupid shit, you know. And I wouldn't be so mad and aggravated if they had real names and pictures. But they're coming at me with fake fucking names and fake pictures. Come on. You know what I mean? That makes me want to fucking like smash my phone and say, fuck it. I'm not even dealing with real people. Who am I telling my story to?
Ian said hi from Glasgow, Scotland. And
Ian, what's up?
Krumel, what's going on, my man? Hey, I got that wrench for you, Krumel. Okay, I'm just busting his chops a little bit. Okay. Ramy wants to know, which is the best pizza place in New York?
Joe's.
And where's that located?
Joe's on 14th Street, 3rd Avenue.
14th and 3rd, Joe. If you ever get a chance to come in New York, go to 14th and 3rd and go to Joe's Pizza. Man, I miss some good-ass pizza out here in Texas.
That's the best place in Manhattan right now that makes it the right way without no screens, without no bullshit. Joe's got the fuck. I went in there when I was waiting for Sama, and I showed everybody the movie stars on the wall, and I built that spot originally back in 1996. If I didn't throw the fucking hood system in that place and the duct system, Joe's wouldn't be there right now because the Palladium was right next door when I built that pizzeria back in the 90s. And shit happened. I had to leave. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, I lived by the Palladium down in the Village. I don't know if you remember that back in the 80s.
Yeah, the Palladium, 14th Street.
Yeah, I lived right there.
That's what I'm talking. That's where Joe's is, right there.
Oh man, has it been there a long time, Joe's?
Well, it's been there for the last 10 years. Amori's Pizza was on the other side of the Palladium, up by fucking 4th Avenue.
I used to love the Palladium. That's when the Palladium was the Palladium.
I saw Led Zeppelin in the Palladium.
I seen a boxing match with Ernie Shavers, and then right after the boxing match, they had what's his name come on? Can't think of his name. It was a heavy metal group, but they actually literally had a double feature. But that's how the Palladium used to do it.
What was the name of the restaurant with the tree in it?
I don't remember, man. That's been a long time ago. Yeah,
come on.
That was the 80s. That was the 80s.
That was the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah, You know, I don't go. My mind doesn't go back that far. I lived in a fifth floor walk up with a tub in the middle of the kitchen. One of those
Really?
old, with those old tenements. $85 a week, and that was back in the '80s.
Whoa, you over Irving Place?
Yeah, it was right there, man. Right
Right by Irving Place.
Yeah,
That's where Salma's restaurant was.
And you can't even to live there now. You need to be a millionaire. But back in those days, you know, $85 a week was a lot of money back then. But you know, I was working like 2 jobs. I could afford it.
Yep.
Okay, this guy says, Joe Messino, wrongly, people like pizza dissing people. You know, I didn't say that, but people like him also talking about his own shit, though. Also,
People like me straightening out the fakes. That's what they like. They don't like fake people like I don't like fake people. Nobody likes to get bullshitted, Lee. You know what I mean? Only people that like to get bullshitted are people like fucking Pimplehead and fucking, you know, Jimmy Calamandria. You know what I mean? They like to bullshit people and be bullshitted. You know what I mean? Like they want people to believe their lies. You know, like Joe Biden wants everybody to believe his lie. You know what I mean? Like it's a hypocrisy in this country, and it's been fucking way out of control. Nobody lives. Oh, New Beginners wants you to stop ignoring her comments.
I don't even see your comments up here. And you got to remember, there's so many comments here that I'm not. Oh, here we go. Lee Cole Krumel will go rogue mode like I did. You should remove his wrench. Krumel wouldn't do that to me. You know,
I hope not.
I will remove his wrench, but he wouldn't do that to me. Why does everybody got to choose sides? It's all entertainment. Unfortunately, people they do choose sides. There's nothing you could do about it.
Listen, at least we're not fucking lying to each other and agreeing on it. You know, I mean, if Lee wasn't there last night, FBS would have fucking got the best of me because he's a fucking mind control fucking psychiatrist wannabe. And I almost fell into it by fucking explaining myself to that fat fuck again. You know what I mean? And thank God Lee was there to fucking intervene and fucking stick up for me a little bit. You know, Lee's on point.
Yeah. New beginnings. You're totally off on this one. Sorry. I made nice with FBS. So now I'm disowning you. No, it's because I'm very busy. Come on.
You know, I'm just so sick of the fucking hypocrisy. Everything I say, he spins it. If you look at my video before his video, everything I say, he says the same thing, but he reverses it. You know, he puts himself in my shoes, me in his shoes. You know what I mean? It's like, you know.
Hey, Krumel, don't threaten me, dude. You know, you're not that type of person. Don't threaten me.
Don't dare me?
Yeah. For some reason, all of a sudden, he's being a dick.
Who is
anyway?
It? The guy with the wrench?
A guy you thought I could trust, but actually, he's just being a dick right now. Hey, listen, you can block everybody. I'll just unblock them, dude. If you want to be a dick, be a dick. Ask why you're so scared of my comments, Lee. Vincent, what are your comments? Are you being disrespectful?
There's an amazing sunset over here right now.
Well, listen, I'm going to let you go, my man. We've been on for almost an hour and 40 minutes. But
yeah.
I appreciate you being here. I think a great thing for you to
look at this.
That is. Yeah,
that's fucking beautiful. That is beautiful, right?
Hey, what state are you in right now?
Strong Island.
Oh, you're in Long Island?
Yep, that's Connecticut right over there. Looking at Connecticut. But yeah, I mean,
New beginnings. You live it so big right now because I promoted this live and asked Tony, his BFFs, new beginnings. But I also promote you just like you promote me. I just don't know who you are. So
everybody, subscribe to New Beginnings and Bloodface.
Yeah. New Beginnings got a great. A matter of fact, New Beginnings is almost at 600. And I like to see New Beginnings get to 1,000 before all these other little channels do. Like Snowflake.
No doubt.
Like Snowflake Al and Josie. I mean, they do a lot of insulting, but they never get more subs.
No, they're fucking lost souls. They're just trying to fit in. Everybody, they're part of that nobody gets left behind crew shit. And you know, everybody fucking the simps that give FFB money every time my name comes up is because I'm a harsh man. You know what I mean? And I shouldn't be so harsh on that poor fat guy. You know what I mean? So everybody wants to fucking hit him with cash apps when I come around. It's okay. You know what I mean? They do it on spite because they can afford to. And they like to fucking watch a guy like me that cancel culture doesn't like struggle. You know what I mean? I leave my life in the hands of God every day. And that's it.
New Beginning says, I'm trying to ask Tony Pizza who is his BFF is. Lee, you are not reading my comments correctly. I'm sorry, New Beginnings. So who's your BFF? Best friend forever.
Best friend forever?
Yes.
Sama.
Okay, that's hey, yeah. I donate. Hey, listen, a few people have donated to your Cash App during this show. So it's at Batman 007. Don't send me anything, send it to Tony. Copy, paste, and share it. And to help Tony, $5-10 will help. So if you guys can do that, it's greatly appreciated. It says, Lee, you are playing nice with FBS. How am I playing nice with FBS? I haven't been nice to FBS this show. If I was nice to FBS, I wouldn't have done this show. Okay?
FBS is a history lesson. Everybody's going to catch on that he's full of shit. Anything that he's got to talk about is anything they can Google themselves and read it themselves. They don't need him to fucking tell them about it. You know what I mean? He left the channel last night when I was talking because he couldn't sit in with real men. He had nothing to add to it. He was lost. He was a lost fucking soul. Once I started talking about a story back in '96, he was gone. He didn't want to give me any credit or credibility. He had to leave. He couldn't fucking say I was right or wrong because he has no fucking clue. This kid grew up in a cornfield. You know what I mean? He's out in York, Pennsylvania, in the middle of the corn. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a computer, access to the internet, and he's a good con man, ex-crack dealer, ex-junkie. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, like I said, he owns a Gotti poster, and he's got an Omerta tattoo. So, watch out. He's a gangster.
Hey, Carmel, to me, it's a big deal about, I'll get rid of your damn wrench, dude. You've been talking about it for 2 weeks. I don't run, when the show's over, I don't run over there and check the wrenches and stuff, but I'll get it done. You're acting like a little bitch right now. Nothing personal. A matter of fact. Okay.
You know, I could easily tell stories
Okay, this guy right here, Vincent. This man will mock your child next week, Lee, if you don't give him money. Watch out. Vincent, let me tell you a story. I've had so many negative shit happen to here with my child, shit said about me, shit said about my dead brother and stuff, and it wasn't by Tony. So, Vincent, open up your eyes and look at everybody, not just one person.
That's FSB.
Well, whoever it is, it's like
that's FSB. That's the only. He says I scream at people for not giving me enough money. I never screamed at anybody for not giving me enough money. I never screamed about money, period. You know what I mean? Like, I just say, why the fuck do people give this guy fucking money with his bullshit stories? And like, I come out with a real story. I put real time into explaining my stories. I'm really homeless. I really live in my car. Where's the problem with helping a real guy? Because I am too offensive for them to help. If they want sugar-coated, Candyland, Wizard of Oz, you know what I mean? Somewhere over the rainbow kind of bullshit in their lives, and that makes them fucking happy to give. If you notice the difference between me and FBS is FBS sugarcoats everything, and he won't fucking tell the truth if his life depended on it. He will not fucking discuss politics because he'll lose all his libtard fucking givers. You know what I mean? I don't depend on libtards. You know, if I wanted to be a con man, I'd come out with like a libtard. If I wanted to be a con man, I'd be dressing up like Uncle Bad Touch, talking like a fucking simp, you know, with my peach fucking coffee every morning. You
Hey,
know,
so the Sit Down, the Organized Crime Podcast, good podcast. People should subscribe to it. Jeff is Jeff, but you know what? In reality, you know, when Deanna got sick, Jeff called me, asked me how she was doing. So, you know, to me, you know, he never put that in front of anything. At least he had enough decency to ask me. And I thank Jeff for that. And that's a Sit Down Organized Podcast. It's important that John A. Light hasn't nobody back than hanging out at the Raven and Gotti household in the 80s. Hey, listen, there's no doubt that John A. Light did some shit on the street. His problem is that he says more than he's actually done.
There's no doubt that Johnny A. Light wasn't at John Jr.'s wedding. There's no doubt that John A. Light didn't sleep with John Jr.'s sister. There's no doubt that John A. Light wasn't giving John Jr. a lot of money every week. There's no doubt. I don't doubt it. I know for a fact he was. But
Kane Shade, Tony Pizza said, Kane Shade, why do you care about looking him up if he was locked up in Miami? That's you sound like these guys now. You know, you won't even come on my show because you're afraid these guys won't watch your show. So come on, Kane Shade.
Who's KJ?
He used to be my partner, but he was supposed to come on my show the other day and he backed out at the last minute because he was told not to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's just how people are. They're you know, they're afraid, you know, and it's just like it doesn't make sense. You know, if you like a show, you go on it. It don't matter whose show it is. Jenny Patterson, I missed MRE. What do you think of MRE?
Who?
Mob Rats Exposed.
You asking me?
Yeah.
He reminds me of David Spade when he talks. I think he's funny.
He is funny.
He makes me. He reminds me of David Spade. I can picture David Spade behind the fucking black screen, you know, dressed like Joe Dirt, you know, playing fucking mind games with people. I mean, he's funny. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely not from fucking North Dakota or South Dakota. Not with that fucking New England accent. But, you know, that's just my opinion. You know, I like Mob Rats Exposed. I mean, he tells it like it is. I'm not a rat.
Yeah, and he sticks what he believes in. He sticks to. You got to respect that. You know, and he's straight up. He tells people what he thinks. He don't really give a shit, and I respect that. You know.
I mean, he hides his face. I guess because he's a little guy, maybe. You know, what I mean, like maybe he's like, you know, too afraid to show. You know, it's a smart move. It's like being Batman wearing a mask.
Like a lot of people are talking about last night's show. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have talked about that show. Jim Rocco.
I mean,
huh?
You know, that Jeff Nadel guy, I don't know where he comes from, what he's about. But for him to fucking question me like that, I was like, who the fuck? What makes you think I got to fucking explain? Well, we can't find nothing. What are you, the FBI? You know what I mean? Like, why don't you just go to the FBI and ask about me?
Well, the scary part is when people are looking into people's background that's on here. I mean, that's the scary part. You know, especially if we're going to talk about rats and shit. Why do you care about someone's back? They tore my background apart, dude, and I'm sure they've done whatever they could do to you.
I paid so much money to seal my records, bro. Ain't happening. You know what I mean? My last name's Caruana. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's enough said right there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's funny that those guys couldn't pull up my fucking family history like fucking everybody else can. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's funny. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's hilarious. You know?
And Jeff, to be straight with you, he claimed that he was around people in the mob and that he knew a lot of people in the mob and a lot of them were his friends. And I even asked him if he ever wanted to become a made man, and he said no. So I don't know what you're listening to, Jeff. You're just going to have your detractors, but in general, 95% of the people here like you.
Well, you know, like I said, they'll spin anything I say. I said it before. I'm considered a self-made man where I grew up. I can go anywhere, sit anywhere, do anything I want with anybody I want. I don't got to get permission. I don't answer to nobody. I answer to me and God. You know what I mean?
Okay, my man,
I got enough
I'm gonna.
respect in Long Island. I got enough respect with the right fucking people that I don't got to worry about people being my enemies. You know what I mean?
New Beginning says Mickey Batts, FBS found a funny looking chick with. Oh, I'm not gonna read. I'm not reading that. New Beginnings.
What do you say?
Well, New Beginnings likes to go after. Well, New Beginnings is New Beginnings. You know, that's funny. New Beginnings used to go after me, and then they say that it's my daughter, and it's just like, are you guys ridiculous? I mean,
No.
New Beginnings used to go after me hard. Jenny, I know it needs to do a show at 8. Okay, well, listen, people, thank you all so much for coming. I'm going to say goodbye to Tony.
Hey,
Tony,
good
man,
night. Thanks for having me
it's been
on.
awesome, man. Anytime, man.
You know, and if these fucking, you know, Uncle Bad Touch and fucking Josie Twat Waffle want to fucking rumble, we could team up and just fucking put them in their place, because they have no place in the mob genre, period, the end. I don't know what they're both thinking. You know, one should be doing better homes and gardens. The other one should just be doing
what
gardens.
Al and Josie are doing here is amazing. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all.
No,
they're just misfits trying to fuck up. Well, Al, Josie, and FBS. The three of them don't belong here. It's like that old what show was it when we were kids? One of these things just doesn't belong here. One of these things just isn't right. You know what I mean? Like, you put those three together and you start doing that fuking song, and then, you know, but you know, those three are like fucking they seem to be like fucking abstract plants to obscure the real, like, you know, The Sopranos, for instance, right? David Chase created The Sopranos. He got his fucking storylines from the fucking feds. Okay, there's fucking characters in there that really were real people. Like, some people would say Christopher Moltisanti was me. Okay, some people would tell me, "Oh, you're full of yourself." But anyway, I'll just use that as an example, right? Now, if you watch The Sopranos from the beginning to the end, everybody just loves Tony and loves Paulie and loves this one and that one. But when Richie Aprile came on the set, everybody hated Richie Aprile. You know why? He was the real fucking deal on the set.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's
and nobody liked Richie Aprile.
And I thought he was the best character on it.
Exactly. Right. So David Paval, who did 10 years, who did come out, they did put it in the script. Okay. David Paval wasn't fucking acting. That's a gangster. Yeah. And everybody was like, I don't like that guy. You know why? Because he was real. So when I come on the set, I don't like that guy because I'm fucking real. They like the sugar-coated, half a fag approach about everything. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Jimmy Calandra with his fucking Colgate white smile and his fucking, you know, Father Mohey fucking look, you know what I mean? Like, you know, whatever the fuck he wants to dress like, you know, fucking out of work priest, you know, it doesn't make a difference. You know what I mean? Like, I like to hear him talking about God and rebuilding his life in the right light and raising his daughters. I like that. I don't like listening to fucking bathroom fucking stories. You know what I mean? What they call the bathhouse stories. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear about the bathhouse stories, because Bath Avenue will never be the same, because he put the fucking heart of Bath Avenue away forever, and the guy died away in prison. You know what I'm saying? So how dare you talk about Bath Avenue ever when you fucking killed Bath Avenue? You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys got no fucking idea. And like I said before, Jimmy doesn't even realize the guys he put away, some of them are coming out right now. He doesn't even realize that. And he's out there throwing his kid out there on video, pushing her in a swing. What, are you fucking stupid? You know what I mean? Like, are you that fucking stupid? You know, and then I say that to him on a fucking video, and Fat Boy turns around, that was a threat. that was a threat. That was a threat. Everything's a threat. I had somebody point out to me that Fat Bald Sicilian was trying to get me to say things 7 times last night to get me indicted somehow. I know what I was saying last night, so there's nothing he can do to get me indicted. But you know what I mean? Like, he was trying to make me fucking say something that I can't say. You know what I mean? And it's like, my friend caught it. He goes, yo, this guy's really trying to get you fucking a case. He's trying to catch a case for you.
Hey, listen, Tony, I think you might as well hang here for a minute. You know, Armchair wants to come in and talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, I mean, it's fair is fair. So, there's the link. You're more than welcome to come in.
So, we're the Three Stooges now. Mo, Larry, and Curly.
But, okay, there's the link right there if you want to come in, my man.
Who's Monkey in the middle?
Okay. People, just like last night's show was great, now that Armchair is here, a repeat of last night. Here we go. Okay. What's going on, my man?
Hey, fellas, how are you?
Look at this fucking guy. The handsome guy. Were you hungover?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you look it.
Tony, I wrote earlier, but I'm happy to look at you and say I appreciate you coming on last night. My intention wasn't to sandbag. I don't want you to think that was intentional.
No. I'm over that. I said what I had to say. You know what I mean?
Good.
Like, I feel bad that I fucking lost my topic because you don't know how long I was listening to that fat fuck spin everything on his show before I came back and found you and tried to talk to you. I just wanted to get on your show and ask you, man to man, why the fuck you entertain this fucking waste of life?
Well, you know what it is, and I kind of talked a little bit about it last night, right? And I'm here with my fiance having a nice dinner.
You guys got to see this.
Yeah, I saw earlier. That's beautiful. What are you at? You're in Long Island?
Yeah, right on the island.
God bless.
That's fucking amazing right there. That's what life's all about, bro.
I agree. Well, listen, the truth is I had him on, I had Leon. I'm going to hopefully have you on. The reason why I had Chris on specifically was I lost a brother to drugs, and I'm big on like recovery, giving people a chance and that kind of stuff. Now, I don't know, his whole story, his whole background, nor do I have the time to research it. So I attached myself to Chris. I really believe in the story that it kind of bettered himself. You know what I mean? I know you may not agree with me or may not agree with him. That's why I was,
no.
His speech,
No, I think that's what he should stick to.
Yeah.
I don't think that he should be going into any fucking war stories with Jimmy Calandria. I don't think he should be talking about Angel Gotti. I don't think he should be talking about any fucking thing that's got to do with his mom. Because
you want him to stay, in your opinion, he should stay in his lane, in your opinion.
What?
In your opinion, he should stay in his lane.
Right. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. When he came over into my fucking in my fucking page and with this fake fucking saying it wasn't him, but it was him. Okay. This guy's a manipulator. All right. There's no way somebody could copy your logo, your fucking avatar, and fucking stick it on my fucking page and make a statement and then say, oh, that wasn't me. You know what I mean? I'm born that night, but not last night. You know what I mean? And then the next avatar and the next fucking thing was him saying that wasn't me. You know what I mean? It's all bullshit, man. It's a head game. This guy's a fucking head game player. He's been spinning everything since I got on fucking YouTube. Right? Now, what I'm going to tell you is, what I'm going to tell you is, enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got no connections to me. You got no connections to my neighborhood. You got no connections to anybody I fucking know. And you are not equipped enough to fucking dig deep enough into that computer of yours to fucking pull my shit out. So, you know what I mean? Like, how the fuck are you going to sit there and question me on public fucking air? You can't prove who you are. You're nobody.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm big on the, you have the, internet, but you also have the street stuff too, right? And the truth of the matter is, Vinny's been around. To me, we're Italian, right? Vinny says you're okay, you're okay. Basically, everything you said checked out. What people didn't pick up on, and this is the part I don't get. I threw you some questions that Wikipedia did not know about your clan, right? Your family's clan. And you said 2 or 3 things specifically that are not on Wikipedia. That's all I needed. Between that and Vinny, that I don't need. We can not say any more. Let's get down to business. Let's learn your story. I hope you picked up some subs. I got a pretty good following in terms of viewership, and thanks to guys that've been out there and that I worked with and stuff. So we have a good find. Hopefully you picked up some subs, and that's why I wanted you on. I think your story could be hard. Bro, you stole the show. I can't get the word tomato head. I'm going to use that for the rest of my life, along with pineapple. Like, you stole the show, my friend.
Yeah, that kid, he's a nice kid, but he don't belong in the business either.
Yeah.
Who makes him the fucking Friar Tucker fucking mafia? You know what I mean? I gave him a key square circumference of South Philly where there were key people in that area. I even told him, go ask who saved Sonny Coppola's life when he was getting stabbed by the Shine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did. It was back in 1980, 81. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to sit there and tell me I wasn't there?
Well,
I want to jump through the phone and choke that fucking kid.
Did you ever hear that expression, pioneers get slaughtered while settlers prosper? Have you ever heard that before? And here's why I relate that to you. I think you're so real that, like, you pioneered, right? You were in that life. You did whatever, right? Now there's a lot of people that, like even myself, that does analysis of this. And those are the guys making out, or we're making out, because we're secondhand. We're the settlers based off of what guys like you did. So I get why I would be annoyed. But listen, the truth is there is an appetite, or how can I say this? There is a want for like secondhand commentary on mob stuff. You know what I mean? So some people are good at it. Some people aren't. You know what I mean? You don't seem too convinced. You got to. Well, let me ask you this. Who do you watch when you do watch? Anybody?
What?
What shows do you watch if you watch?
I don't watch shows.
No, not at all?
No. Ever since I was watching Sammy, like I said last night, Sammy, he come out with his first podcast.
Yeah.
He tagged me on Facebook with 100 other people. So my Facebook said Sammy the Bull Gravano is with Anthony Caruana and 99 other people on his first podcast for YouTube.
Nice.
Now, I saw this on Facebook and I said, holy shit. All of a sudden my phone's lighting up. I only had 80 people in my Facebook. 80 people I really fucking know.
Yeah.
Every single person that was friends with me on my Facebook was calling me up, bro. That's props right there. Sammy's giving you props right there.
Awesome.
Holy shit. Now the cat's out of the bag. Everybody knows now.
Yeah.
So I'm getting fucking, all this love from all these people all of a sudden because Sammy fucking put my name next to his. Yep. Okay. I go on fucking Messenger. I hit that fucking phone call button and he jumps up with, yeah, what? And I fucking, I flinched and he started laughing. He's like, hey, Schnoz, I miss you. I go, holy fuck, it is you. I said, I didn't think it was you. And he goes, oh, no. And we were crying, looking at each other. He's like a fucking father to me. I mean, the guy's fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I could cry right now reenacting the whole fucking time. I got this fucking blowjob from Pennsylvania in the fucking cornfields fucking telling me that I don't know Sammy. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck would I lie? You know what I'm saying?
I know that. I don't know if you know this. I'm friends with Karen, and my first cousin married Rena, Sammy's niece. And I never met Sammy, but I know Karen really well. Friends with her. And I know, for example, Gerard handles his business, and you were talking to Gerard on the phone, and Gerard's not an easy guy to get a hold of. So, like, again, like for me, you check out, brother,
No, Gerard, I could call him right now.
Yeah. He's a good dude.
I gotta go through Gerard to get to his dad on an emergency basis.
Yeah, that's everybody though.
On Messenger, if his green light's on and I fucking hit it, we talk.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
And if he doesn't pick it up, he'll call me back like he did the one that I was on. And he called me back and said, yo, I'm tired. I don't feel good. I don't want to talk. And he let me talk anyway. And he goes, fuck those guys on YouTube. And he fucking hung up. I'll call you next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, the kid Joey, Vitale, the Rampa kid, that's my wrench. His father was Joe Vitale, the Rampa with Sammy.
Yeah.
All right. Joey and me, we do 3-ways with Sammy. We laugh, we talk, you know what I mean? Like, we're family. You know what I mean? And this guy wants to pick me apart because he's jealous. What? Because I'm homeless?
Yeah.
What? I mean, you know, they take Sammy saying a suggestion, because I told Sammy, I don't want to talk about the mob, Sammy. He goes, don't talk about the mob. Go talk about the homeless people. Go help the homeless people. You're homeless, you're a street guy. Go. He was giving me legit fucking ideas. These fucking people spinning at he didn't even want to talk to him. He told him to go talk about homeless people. You know what I mean? Like, they spin everything.
Yeah.
Why does a scumbag like this deserve any fucking recognition? Why?
Well, you know this. It's like it's also a different environment right now, right? You have first party people that are giving content, right? And other than a very few, most of them are informants, right? So there are people that have a moral constitution not to watch informants. That's where the secondary guys come in. People and say, you know what? I'll sit down and get a second party because I don't want to hear it from somebody who's an informant. I think as a street guy, I think that you would respect that. No?
Who's an informant?
Well, I believe Jimmy Clandrip testified against Spiro. My former
that's a rat. That's not an informant. That's a rat.
Well, I choose to use a different word, right? But 6 half dozen of the other. But we're saying is most of the guys out here that are on TV or YouTube have informed or have some 302 or some paperwork, right, as you would call it. So I'm saying is, there's some people that don't want to support that. So that's where the secondary guy comes in. So it's like a secondary market, right? I don't want to support a guy who might have put families away, right? And listen, I'm not a street guy. It doesn't care to me, but for some people that bothers them, right? That's where the secondary guys come in. Now, if you feel as a secondary guy, he has no talent, that's your opinion. And again, I respect, I'm like Lee, I believe in right to free speech. And, and I respect your opinion. I may not agree with you totally, but I respect it. And I got to tell you, last night, I physically laughed so hard, my organs hurt. That's how good it was.
Well, I'm glad that I made everybody laugh, but I wasn't trying to.
No. You provide.
You got the gift. You got the gift, brother. You don't have to try.
What I'm saying is, you have comedic talent, and you're gonna do really well here. Listen, Tony, to be honest with you, and I don't know how I can, but I like to offer. I'm a pretty resourceful guy. I like to help you if you want or need any help. Don't be prideful. I don't think you are in terms of but like if you ever need any help or anything, I can help you with anything. I'm here for you. I love to. You're a fellow Italian. You're a stand-up guy, and anything I can do, I'd love to help you.
I appreciate that, Tom. And like I said, if this guy was respectful to the facts that, like, I don't know shit, but I'm blessed to be fucking talking to, say, Jimmy Colangelo or being on your show and off the reservation with the fucking subject that it ain't about drugs now, it's about fucking people he don't know. I mean, like, if he was more like honest about it, like, acting like, instead of acting like he grew up in the fucking life and acting like that he belongs in that fucking realm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would strike me differently. But you know what I mean? Like, he comes off like he was always at the table. He wasn't at no tables. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't at no tables. He wasn't on no avenue. He wasn't on no blocks. He doesn't have no fucking attachment to nobody. He's trying to create one with Sammy right now, but it's not going to happen because Jimmy fucked the pooch with that. And it's not gonna, he thinks he's gonna destroy me with Sammy, which is never gonna happen. You know what I mean? And it's like, everybody wants to say I'm using Sammy to get fucking points and attention. Yeah, I did use his name to get fucking looks. You know what I mean? So people would fucking look at my page. But it took months before I fucking got, not a month. It took me over a month. I can't get this thing right.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? We have had very few people being negative, but all of a sudden, a bunch of FBS's people have showed up in here and gotten very negative. So it's kind of funny how we've gone 2 hours, no issues, and now these people I don't recognize are all here.
Right,
So,
because Tom showed up. No offense, Tom.
I gotta be honest with you. I like even my fiance, who does not watch the show that often because she thinks that we're nuts. I'm nuts. You had her in stitches yesterday, man, and I respect you for that. Listen, the truth of the matter is, though, I believe you have a story to tell. I think you probably didn't even touch the surface. I also
didn't touch the surface. I didn't get close to the surface because I kept getting interrupted.
No, that's why. That's why you told the story yesterday. I was like, and the guys you were mentioning, I was like, holy shit. And I do apologize. It was a little crowded, but yeah, I think you have a lot to.
I mean, put it this way, Paul. If I was in a hospital room with Louis D, Handsome Jack, Dominic Como, me, and another guy. I'm not going to mention the other guy's name because he's still active.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think what was in that room? Street sweepers?
Well, Louis Didon was a serious guy. I mean, so I think he's away now, but yeah.
That was Louis DeFazio.
Oh, Louis DeFazio, forgive me. Okay, got it. But either way, I mean, no. Listen, I think you're authentic. That's the thing. I think the authenticity is there, right? And I just think, for example, you could share things that are, people that are dead and gone if you want, or you could share some good stories without leaving names. I think at this point, I don't think you need to prove anything to anybody, but you know that already,
I've been saving a story for Johnny A-Light the next time he says he was with John Jr. I've been saving a story. And,
where do you land on A-Light?
Where do he just lies too much.
Yeah.
But I understand why. And I understand his motives because I went through the same shit with Peter Pasta. You know what I mean? Peter Pasta used to fucking use me to make money, take my money, and then badmouth me. Every time I did something for him or his family, they would turn around and like throw me under the bus with people and put me out there as a fucking bad guy instead of a good guy. Meanwhile, I was always the cat with the bird in his mouth, bringing it to his master. You know what I mean? Johnny A-Light was the same kind of guy. He was a cat with the bird in his mouth, bringing it to the master. And the master used to fucking lie to him and then put his fucking knife in his back. So, I understand his motives and what the fuck he does. And you know what? He's a good salesman, just like Jimmy Calandria. Bullshit. They bullshit people. They tell fucking war stories that there's nothing really. Nobody that's listening knows any better. Put it that way.
Well, let me ask you. You were saying earlier about FBS with Johnny A-Light. If he just stayed in his lane, he's like, listen, I was with Gotti early 90s. We were good friends. Here's some stories, maybe a little Tampa action. But he stayed in his lane and didn't over glorify, right? Why do you think he can't just stay in his lane and actually talk about what he did?
Because he had a lie. He had a lie when he went to testify. He had a lie to get them to get him out of Brazil. He had a lie.
Increase his importance, yeah.
You know what I mean? He had to increase his importance to the fucking family, and that lie he has to stick to that lie.
And I like to say one thing about that. If you've seen a Locked Up Abroad, you could see the smirk that he was making because he knows everything he was saying was pissing the Gottis off. A-Light, he was making up this huge story. He knew that everybody knew he was making up this story, but A-Light there was smiling like, ha. Now, and it pissed the guys off when he was saying.
Oh yeah. Every lie he told the feds, he's got to stick to. So he's going to continue his lie because that's one going to drive fucking Junior crazy, and for two, it's going to fucking it's going to solidify what he told them to get him to get out of Brazil to come to the United States and testify and get his plush deal that he got, because obviously his testimony didn't do dick. You know what I mean? because it was all lies. So Junior didn't go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Sorry, Leah, I don't mean to hijack.
No problem. No problem.
Let me ask you a question. You heard that guy Alpo got killed, drug dealer that was in Witsec in Harlem. You heard about that, Tony, correct?
I mean, can't miss it on Fat Boy's fucking channel. It was on there.
Well, here's why, because this is
he went from Italian gangsters to fucking moon crickets. You know what I mean? But what are you gonna do?
Well, here's what I wanted to ask you. Why is it that the Italian mob, probably about 1,000 guys with their stripe, probably another 500 associates per family, still some serious guys around, are letting informants walk around, but kind of a loose-knit drug gang hits a Witsec guy in broad daylight? Why are the Italians soft nowadays? I know there's cameras, but you know what? There was cameras in Harlem. There was phones in Harlem. There was probably more cops in Harlem than Howard Beach. So why do you think the Italian mob is like, you know what, letting these guys kind of be in the neighborhoods and letting it go? Why do you think, Tony?
What do I think?
The Italians letting these guys, because the informants aren't like, they're not like in like North Dakota. They're in Howard Beach. They're in like Rockaway. They're in Brooklyn. They're in Jersey.
What are you talking about? You're talking about the Italians letting the fucking
informants living back in their communities. Yeah,
like Hootie and fucking Panisi and
whoever. I won't say names, but you can get where I'm going.
Yeah. A-Light, Hootie, Panisi, fucking all these guys. They got handlers, and they're watched, and they're dangling them out there like bait to see who would make a fucking move.
Got it. Okay.
Right? And the reason why the Italians ain't fucking stupid enough to fucking hit the guy, right? Alpo probably didn't have any handlers with him.
Got it.
Alpo.
Hey, guys, I want to play you one thing that Hootie said about this. What do you think of all these wars all this fighting going on between everybody?
I got serious problems in the streets. I'm not worried about any. I don't pay attention to the stuff going on YouTube.
When you say you have serious problems, when you say you have serious problems in the street, what do you mean by that?
Well, I got beefs with guys that I tell stories about that are still in Cosa Nostra. I got beefs with drug dealers that I mentioned in my stories. These guys, you don't want to be mentioned, don't want to be talked about. And the guys that I don't hear from or get messages from, because I get messages all the time. And the ones that I don't hear from are the ones you got to worry about. You think you just can talk about these guys and walk around the neighborhood like it's okay? Listen, I tell everybody, you may think the life is dead, but the people that involved in it and were involved in it aren't dead. They're walking the streets.
So do you see something happening here pretty soon where something bad's going to happen because of all this shit?
It's terrible.
So basically, Hootie's saying it's only a matter of time before something happens to one of them.
Hootie is not far off. I just told you, people Jimmy put away are coming out right now. He doesn't realize it because he's fucking retarded. He's got Down syndrome. You know what I mean? All he knows how to do is fucking stare at his fucking counter and talk bullshit. You know what I mean? And he hangs out with FPS, so that really makes him feel like a fucking king in the land of the blind. But let me tell you something. The reality of it is that there's guys like the guy I spoke to yesterday that just came out of McKean, that was there when he fucking had a hissy fit. His first hissy fit with Gene Gotti. You know what I mean?
Hey, Tom, I'm not going to block you. You're entitled to your opinion.
This guy just came home, and he was in there with Jimmy back then. So, how many other guys you think Jimmy put away besides fucking Spiro? You know what I mean?
They don't realize when these guys give testimony, a lot of that testimony is used again. And it can be written down. They don't even have to go.
Hey, Tony, were you in Florida during the time of the Tony Muscatello, Gus Bolas situation? Or was that for you? The guy that's on the casinos, that got killed, and they pinned it on Tony Muscatello.
What year?
Early 2000s.
I was in jail.
Oh, you're in jail. Okay. I was just wondering. I wonder if you went that way because
it's
a crazy story.
I came back to New York. I came back to New York on August 18, 2001.
Okay.
All right. So I just gave everybody a release date. How's that?
And then
I flew back from Florida on August 18, 2001. I got to watch the towers come down. I stayed in my bar until I got that pizzeria going that I told you about. And I walked away from that pizzeria exactly December 3rd or 4th. And I got tired of all the wise guy bullshit coming and going. So I had more bullshit than fucking pizza orders. You know what I mean?
When you got out, right? Did you know things were dead, or there was a little hope getting out, and then you firsthand witnessed a few months? You're like, oh shit.
No, when I got out, I knew it was over. I knew it was over because, like I told you before I went in, okay, I watched the power struggle. I watched the decline of the empire. You know what I mean? Like when they use Puerto Ricans to shoot a guy like Jackie fucking Giordano, Handsome Jack, who's 500 strong, okay, there's no fucking joke there. You know what I'm saying? When you see a guy like Tony Lee die, and Tony Pep is down south, but he can't make the flight to come up because he don't want to be seen by the FBI. And Peter Gotti tells you, if I was him, I'd steal a car and get up here. And then Peter Gotti fucking steal your whole crew away from you and fucking break up your whole crew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Tony Lee was Tony Pep's fucking skipper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, then they made, you know what I mean? It's like, once Tony Lee was gone, Tony Pep got fucked. You know what I mean? And basically, the Gottis wanted it to end with them. That's basically the way I saw it. Because all the roads led to the Gottis. So if you wasn't in the inner circles with the Gottis, you were going to starve on the street. So, you know what I mean? Like, when I went away, I already knew coming out it was a wrap. Because they already threw Tony Pep to the fucking wolves in Florida. And I was trying to protect Tony Pep in Florida, and he was too wrapped up in his fucking glamour life to fucking listen to me because I wasn't going to him with a fucking fat envelope every week. I started being told I was an embarrassment, this and that, da-da-da-da, you know what I mean? And the only thing I could do is stay in the shadows and try to fucking pinpoint who the rats were. And when I figured out who one of the rats was, they took me out. They fucking set me up and they fucking locked me up. You know what I mean? They put a big charge on me so everybody would be scared, looking at 10, 20 years. You know what I mean? I'm a little guy. So, everybody was like, I never got convicted before. I always got pinched, but I always fucking beat the charges.
Yeah.
Florida was my first conviction. All right. So I didn't score high enough in the state of Florida for them to give me the 10-20.
Got it.
You understand?
Yeah.
They wanted to give me fucking 3.5 years probation. I told them to stick it in their ass and I took off. Right? And then they caught me and they brought me back and they said, "You want to start over again?" I said, "Nope, I want to get it over with." So they gave me 3.5 years. But with all the fucking the bus rides from Maine to fucking Aberdeen, Mississippi to fucking Tennessee, back to Florida. By the time I got all the way around the world, you know what I mean? I had like fucking, I don't know, maybe 8-9 months in already. You know what I'm saying? And,
What about, did you get supported in jail? Like, did they fill your commissary? Did you get assigned to certain guys?
Nope, nobody gave me a lawyer. Nobody gave me.
What about, did you get supported in jail? Like, did
Vinny,
you got
Vinny.
Hey, how are you guys?
You got something in the background playing, Vinny.
Did you get supported?
No, I never. Nobody ever gave me a fucking quarter.
Really?
Nobody came to visit me. Nobody fucking gave me a quarter. Nobody got me a lawyer. You know what I mean? I didn't get any. I didn't make any phone calls. I did my time standing on my fucking hands, and I basically, stayed to myself.
Tony, Tony, how did it feel being so loyal to a Borgata that wasn't loyal to you?
It broke my heart.
Hey, I love this. I don't have to ask no questions.
Yeah.
It's just like a little break for me.
Hey,
Vinny,
Tony.
Vinny wants to say
what's
hi,
up,
Tony.
man?
Hey, Tony, how are you? Hey, NBA.
It broke my heart, you know, because the first time I got away from the fucking marshals, all right, they paid my best friend money because they knew he was a drug addict to give me up. And I called my best friend and said, "Yo, I'm in a jam." And he said, "Come on over." When I went over there, they were already there waiting for me. And I saw them hand him the money. And I said, "Motherfucker." And you know what I mean? Like it was, you know, it was a sign of the times for me. It was a sign of the times for me. You know, when I saw that people weren't honest to say, you know, this kid's fucking 100%. Why are we turning our backs on him? Well, you know, for a stranger to turn around and say that I had a pistol and I was acting like a cowboy in a club, for everybody to believe that and turn their back on me over a guy that wasn't with us but was around us, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't even an Italian guy. So, you know, like I said, the book Bones on the Beach, the rats that are in that book, you know what I mean? The story, the names that, you know, fucked me up, fucked Tony Pep up later on. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I felt bad. I felt terrible because I was trying to save him from that. But he, you know, he like John Gotti got too big for the fucking, the
Britches.
you know, no, you know, they just like the fucking movie star treatment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tony Pep, everybody and their fucking mother knew Tony Pep's name in fucking South Florida.
Yeah.
I'm with Tony Pep. I'm with Tony Pep. I wanted to smack the shit out of like everybody I fucking ran into. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and meanwhile, they were all calling me nuts because this guy thought, you know, he was a, you know, I don't know, man. It's tough to fucking talk about because I love the guy so much. But,
Yeah.
you know, when I came out and I saw him going in, it broke my heart. And I told everybody when I came home, I'm done. You know?
It seems like you were tethered to your loyalty to Tony Pep and hitched on his wagon. In retrospect, do you regret hitching onto that wagon, or you do it again in a heartbeat?
What do you mean?
So it seems like he was like your mentor. He was your guy. He was your boss. He was your protege, right? And
his son Anthony was my guy.
Okay.
His son Anthony, you know what I mean? Like I only looked out for the father because of the sons. You know, the sons were my friends. Joey and Anthony were my friends.
Got it.
Joey was always with his father, so I would end up with his father. When I was in New York, me and Anthony was my guy. Right? And Anthony was, you know, like I would take out a fucking football field full of people for Anthony. You know what I mean? Like that kid will tell you himself if you get a hold of him. You know what I mean? Like there was no stopping me. You can fucking if you pose a threat to him and his family, he'll tell you, man. There was no stopping me. I was the Luca Brasi in that family.
Hey,
I
Vinny,
mean, and
Vinny, do you have anything you got to ask before we take off here?
Oh, I was just wondering, Tony, when you were with Tony Pep, I'm sure you knew the people around him. Was there anything you could say in terms of like how Tony Pep viewed the mob in terms of how it was going at that point? Was he on board with the way everything was going, or did he feel like, no, some things are getting out of line here?
well, I got to be honest with you. Those conversations he had with his sons.
Okay.
The only thing I can tell you, he would say, like we went to dinner one time in Manhattan. You know, we went over to Paul and Jimmy's. We had a dinner, and it was the old Paul and Jimmy's when it was on Irving Place. And he turned around, and you know, he got up, and he looked at me and his son. He goes, "I feel bad for you guys."
Really?
That's what he said. I feel bad for you guys.
What, the way the
So,
world is starting now? That like the way things are now. That's why.
no, the way the life was going.
Oh, okay, right.
You know, the way the life was going. He just said, I feel bad for you guys. Like he knew we didn't have a future left. He saw where it was going. I mean, like, put it this way: when he was made the boss of South Florida, he actually turned it down, and the person that put him in charge said, "I'm not asking you, I'm telling you." So he didn't want that position. He was sick with cancer, and you know, he wanted to live his life out in Atlanta with his wife. You know, with his small little moving business there. But when things turned around in South Florida, I mean, he got thrown into a fucking position that he wasn't supposed to. He didn't want to be in there. And like I said to you, there was a lot of fucking bad shit going on down there. But nobody was fucking honest. You know what I mean? Like everybody around him was like smiling in his face, stabbing him in his back, using his flag, using his name. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
basically, like the book says, Bones on the Beach. The cops went in to fucking ask Freddie Massaro about the Napolitano's legs that washed up on the beach, and he sat up. He put his hands up in the air and said, "Tony Pep never knew the kid." Now, what kind of answer is that? What kind of answer is that?
Yeah. What do you think about what do you think about everything he's saying about Atlanta? Are you guys familiar with all that stuff he's talking about
I'm not.
with Tony?
I know a little about Tony Pep, but not Tony would know. Tony was with him, but no, it sounds like listen. Tony Pep, just for saying I feel bad for you guys, and he saw the direction everything was going. That's enough to show me how sharp Tony Pep was. I tell you the truth, because it's easy Monday morning quarterback now after everything has happened. But you know, he's actually telling these guys, this Bagad is done. Look what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, he was down south when John got picked up. You know what I mean? He was already down there. He was already established. So, you know what I mean? Like the shit that was going on up in New York, he would make an appearance once or twice a month at the club in Elmont. And that club became mine. It was in my name. They put it in my name. That ended up being my club. That was Uncle Frankie's club, his brother. And you know, he took it from his brother Frankie. I call him Uncle Frankie because Tony made me his honorary nephew, and you know, he was my Uncle Tony. But I look so much alike, like, you know, his sons. The three of us look like brothers. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing. I mean, you know, but you know, when John and Frankie Locke and Tony Lee used to come out to Elmont every Monday before they went away. You know what I mean? It was a good time. But once John went away, Tony came up once a month. Not every week, not every Monday. When John was there, Tony came up every Monday. He would show up. And there was a guy named Chrissy Trotter that used to give Tony a car to drive around in. And Chrissy Trotter owned Jamaica Ash, you know, which, you know, got taken from him at one point.
Tony, was that club down near the OTB? There was a big OTB down there. Is that where that club was?
Our club was on the Stop 20 Plaza in the corner of the shopping center. You had Federo's Deli on one end, and then our club was all the way on the other end.
Okay.
And there was a Michael Anthony salon in the middle.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, the Stop 20 Diner was across the street. King Umberto's was on the
Right,
other
that's
corner.
what I was, yeah. There's an OTB down there now, too, a Nassau County OTB over there.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, there's a place called Trotters. That's why when you said Trotter, there's a place called Trotters. It's a bar restaurant over there, right across from that OTB over there. I guess I forget what it was called back then. But, yeah, because it's been a while since you...
Yeah, and I haven't been there since forget about it. I got no reason to go there. It breaks my heart to go see that fucking spot. And,
No,
you know
right.
what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why go there? You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody there no more.
I agree.
You know, to walk into King Umberto's and nobody knows who you are anymore. Come on. You know what I mean? It's like that,
You know,
that place.
It's interesting you say that, Tony, because I go by Brooklyn where my parents have been gone, my sister's passed. I go by that now. I used to love to go by it when people were still alive and I remembered my childhood. Now I go by, it's like empty. I feel terrible when I go by. I don't even want to see it anymore. I agree with you because it's like nothing existed. Everyone's gone that you cared about. I totally understand what you're saying.
I mean, you know, all the guys that used to come play cards, all the guys that used to come and sit and play fucking Ramino. You know what I mean? Like in the daytime, and you know, it was a different era. It was a different time, bro. You know what I mean? Like it makes me sick to think that half of them are all dead. You know what I mean? Like, Tony's son Anthony is still alive. His son Joey passed away last year. Me and Anthony don't talk anymore because of different circumstances and reasons. But you know what I mean? Like, I love that kid like a brother. You know what I mean? Like, I know in his heart, he knows if he needed me and reached out, I'd go there in a minute. But he'll never. His pride won't let him reach out to me, and you know, whatever caused him to fucking stab me in the back. You know, I forgave him, but you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he won't have nothing to do with me, and I won't have nothing to do with him. His brother died. I didn't even go to the funeral. You know?
Wow.
And, you know. But, you know, if you look on YouTube and look up Anthony Trentacosta, you know, you see movie clips with him and Paul Vario Jr. You know, they did Just Like Joe. They did a fucking cameo with Clem Caserta. You know, there's a couple of videos out there with Anthony Trentacosta. He looks just like his father in those videos.
What would Tony be now? About 80? Tony
I like
Pep
to
would
say,
be about 80?
I like to say one thing. Uncle D, my job is not to get 2 words in right now because we're getting great conversation. Nobody wants to hear from me. They want to hear from Tony. Okay?
Lee, you're right. You're the interview. Absolutely right, Lee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't got no picture.
I didn't realize Jimmy's on right now with Love Touch, whatever his name is.
No.
Tony left it. So guys,
Yeah.
you know, I've had him on for 2.5 hours. Our numbers have been way above 200.
God bless.
The whole time he's been on.
Not bad.
So people that think that people don't like Tony, they're wrong. People love Tony. A lot of people don't like him, but guys, just from what you hear from him and what he's saying, if you had to say that he knew these people, what would your honest opinion be on how well he knew these guys?
I'm back.
The short answer, I believe him.
Yes. And Vinny?
I believe him.
So these guys know the streets really
Totally.
well, and
Totally.
they totally believe you.
Yeah. I do.
So that should mean a lot to you, man.
You know what I think, Lee? You were saying, you know why when you said people like Tony and everything, you know what I think some of it is too? I think there's rebel in all of us. I think with the society today, the way it is, I think we all are on the same page of where we slant. I think that Tony is someone that we all have in us that we'd like to just scream to the top of the rafters what we think about this country today. And he says it. And he says a lot that we'd like to be able to scream. And we don't do it, and he does. And I think that's why we all respect it.
And Vinny,
But you know, that's the thing about me is that I can say the things that nobody else can say because I don't got nothing to fucking lose.
Well, you do have something to lose, though. You do.
No, I don't.
Don't act like that.
I don't have nothing to lose. You know, I already can't get a job. I already can't get a place to live. I already can't do a lot of fucking things because of these people. So, you know what I mean? Fuck them. You know what I mean? Like, I've been rolling this way since I got out of fucking prison. I mean, I haven't had a home in fucking... I mean, my last home was my fucking jail cell. You know what I mean? So, you know, When people say you can't say that, I say I just fucking did. You know what I mean? Because what are you gonna do to me? You can't do anything to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that people might look at me like, oh, you got nowhere to stay and this and that, and you're living in your car. They don't know, like, this car's like fucking the Hilton to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have an idea about how I slept on a corner on Park Avenue with milk crates and cardboard boxes for 16 fucking years with a sleeping bag. You know what I mean? This does not affect me one fucking bit. Like I was saying in one video one time, what people fucking think is hell, I fucking make home out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I'm not the guy that, wants to fucking lay down and fucking conform for fucking anybody in this country who thinks I gotta fucking sell my fucking soul to get a job, a place to stay, or any of that shit, because the world I come from, the world I left before I went in, you know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, I'm still me, so that world still exists. I'm not gonna be fucking and I'm not alone in this world. I got a lot of people that love me. I got a lot of people that fucking support me. I got a lot of people that they just can't say the things I say because they gotta worry about their home, their business, their job, you know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you what, man, that's some classic shit right there, Tony. What you just said is really...
Hey, Tony, if you don't mind me asking, and we could talk privately, but you seem like a pretty open guy. If it were arranged where we can get a place for you to stay for like a month-to-month thing, or just something to get you like a warm bed, is that something you're interested in, or do you want to travel more around? Like, what's your jam?
What are we talking about?
No, if somehow we would pull some resources and maybe get you like a place to stay, whether it be month to month or just short term, just get your bed in before it gets cold, and then see from there. I don't know.
I mean, I would love to have a fucking place to stay. You know what I mean? And be able to have my car to go get a job and do all this other stuff. I would really, that would be great. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to waste money if there's no job.
No. Right now, I think like anything, and you know better than me, but I think right now we got to get you a warm bed, and then from there, then we got to get you a job. You know what I mean?
Right, but what are you talking about? My own key, my own door.
I mean, let's we got the 4 horsemen. We got a few other guys. We can maybe pull some resources, pull some strings.
If you're talking about getting anything done with the city and fucking bureaucracy shit, no, it ain't gonna happen.
No, How about Jersey?
Not happening.
Hey, I think you're underestimating Tom and Vinny.
Yeah,
I think they can help.
Tom, he's not me. But I go with Tom's the brains. I just follow. But Tony, listen, I'm in. Whatever we could do to help you, count me in.
Listen, bro, I love you guys for even offering this. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that if it's got anything for me to have to sign my name on any fucking paperwork that goes to any kind of fucking welfare or any kind of fucking city organization.
No, I'm not talking about that.
No, not that.
No. We're saying get you a warm bed, place to take a hot shower, place to take a shit cleanly, and month, 2 months, get you started off, and maybe point you in the right direction to some jobs, and take it from there. You listen, I know this for a fact. Italians are the worst at accepting help. I know that. We know that. So we're just saying, give you a little bit of boost and see where it goes. Let's see what we can come up with. Let me ruminate. We're gonna be in touch anyway. I want to find a way to contact you. I think New Beginnings has my information, and let's chat offline. So I think it's more of a private.
She's got mine.
Pardon?
New Beginnings got mine.
Yeah. So New Beginnings, reach out to me, connect me with Tony, and then we're gonna do something nice for you.
I mean, she's my new best friend, but you know what I mean, like.
Hey, don't say that too loud.
Why?
Because that's not FBS doesn't. FBS thinks that's my daughter.
No, that's not your daughter.
I know it's not. At least we know that.
Thank you, dear.
Tom says a little kitchenette.
I want my fiance to say hello to Tony, but she's being shy.
Who?
My fiance. She I wanted to say hello, but she's being shy.
That's okay. Say hello.
Quickly. She's being shy,
What's
Tony.
going on?
Tony, I want you to come on the Four Horsemen and tell your whole story. You up for it?
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Okay, we'll definitely do it, and this way we can get people to know exactly that it's not just because you're talking in a car and seeming so tough and fuck the world. It's rough to be in that car, and I think people forget that because they're sitting at their computers. It's rough, and you do a good job.
I'm not acting, bro.
No,
I'm
I
not
know.
acting. This is me every day. I wake up the same fucking. You know, last night you guys caught me with the sandbagging thing. A little pissed off I was, but I'm not fucking mad at that no more. I'm a quick-tempered guy. I got to tell you, I hate FPS with a fucking passion, and I don't want to ever fucking. I don't ever want to be put in a predicament where you guys are going to try to tell me I got to fucking be friends with that prick.
No. Moving forward, you made it
forward.
completely and abundantly clear that will never happen again.
All right. Thank you.
So listen, I'm gonna jump off. We're gonna be in touch. We're gonna get in touch with you, and we're gonna behind the scenes. We're gonna put something together for you, right, pal?
All right, guys. Listen.
Be well, Tony.
I really appreciate all that, and it was really great to get all this out in the open and talk about it. Vinny, you're the best. You know
too,
what I mean?
Tony. Be well.
And Tommy, thank you very much.
And I'm going to be signing off, guys.
Tonight because I was dying to fucking talk to you the way I wanted to talk to you last night without screaming.
You did a great job tonight.
No, you helped yourself. Listen, what happened was, we came in on live. You know how it is, and then who was in the waiting room? We were trying to, I think I underestimated the situation. So we live and learn.
Oh, yeah, well, he thought he was going to dominate me, and that's where he was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, he thinks he's a fucking king fucking pin on a fucking YouTube. He's sadly mistaken because we got his number, and, like, phonies aren't allowed. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cupcakes aren't allowed. Unicorns aren't allowed. You know what I mean? Like, we're not fucking dealing. You know what I mean? Like, you want to fucking talk gangster? Be gangster. You ain't a gangster, so you can't talk gangster. A guy like you now, Tom, you're more like a guy from like an A&E announcer that could fucking like throw out a story like Robert Stacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
yeah.
You know, it's a difference between.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a difference between a guy like you with some class than a guy that said, "Woe's me, I'm a junkie, and this girl took me in, and I got a Gotti poster, and now I'm a gangster." You know what I mean? Like, it's a difference. You know what I mean? Like, I can't swallow that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. You know, and I mean, you got a nice home. You know, you're a sharp guy. Lee's got a nice home. He's a sharp guy. So does Vinny. I mean, if I saw a Gotti poster right now behind one of you guys, I'd be fucking throwing my phone through the window.
Baseball behind me. Baseball. Okay, that's it. Okay, listen, I'm going to end the show, my man. Thank you so much.
Stop that, Take care.
Everybody,
take care. Guys.
We'll see you soon. You'll be on a show.
All right, you got my number. You can give it to those guys.
Right? Thank you, Tony. Okay. Be well tonight.
You too. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night, buddy.
Vinny, I'll take care of that. You guys take care. Everybody have a nice one tonight.
Great Lee, that was a wonderful show.
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'll see you. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. That show was a lot different than I ever thought it was going to be. And that's the serious side of Tony. And he gave us a couple hours of who he is, the real Tony, not the one yelling and being angry and stuff. So let's remember that, he's not that crazy guy that that's just a man that's angry with life. But, look, let's think about what we've seen today and the things that he said. There's been some negative people here who go to other shows that have come in here and just been negative with him throughout the whole show. You people, I feel sorry for. I really do. I mean, listen to what the man said. The man said that he appreciates the fact of having a car to sleep in because he's been homeless. And whether you like him or not, don't knock it if you don't know what it's like to be homeless or why he's homeless. We don't know. People might say he's lazy. There's just people that don't like to conform. I believe Tony's problem is he doesn't like to conform. He likes the life. And when we're dead, it doesn't matter what we did in this life, does it? It really doesn't matter what we did. Mario, thank you. I appreciate that. And this has been a great show. And 3 hours almost. I'm gonna make a great thumbnail for it and put it back up. But you guys have been great. We've been well over 200, 250, well over 250 actually people viewing for at least over 2 hours. So that says a lot of people did like this and they don't like Tony. Thank you guys for giving me a chance. I know that sometimes I could do and say some shit that pisses people off, but who you see here now is who I really am. Remember that, people. Everybody take care and have a nice one.